Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is the Toy Duo. We are coming to you live on a Saturday at noon. We gave up our Saturdays just because we wanted to sit here and talk about toys. And today we're going to go over some of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that they're going to have available, the reveals that they came out this week. We have our other segments as usual. But first of all, let's just find out who is sitting on the panel today. Today we have Ray Danbury, a.k.a. Dandy 1981. Sir Eric is here wearing his favorite Wookiee sweatshirt.
That's good.
St. John's Marauders.
Sergeant
John.
Saint.
Oh, look, I'm wearing my glasses so I can read.
All right, I'll change it to St. John's if that's
Johnson.
what you want.
Oh, it's perfectly clear now that I'm not wearing my glasses. And then we got Rick Baca. Always let the Wookiee win unless you're in Star Wars Acolyte.
Exclusive.
Yeah. So anyways, so we got a good show for you today. We're going to go over the reveals. We're going to do the movie news you didn't know you needed. We're going to do some other stuff, but we're going to say hi to some folks who showed up in the chat early on. It's obvious that there are some folks that haven't said hello yet, but if you're watching and you want to, just type in and say hello and tell us what's going on and let us know what you want to know. But anyways, Dan's taking care of that. It's Grills saying good afternoon, folks. We got Jumpy McClunky here. Jonathan Redmond's in the house. And I'm sure there's more people. They're just too shy to type something in the chat.
Lurkers.
Okay, so normally what we do is we start the show and let's just jump right into it. It is bragging camp. So, let's see. Welcome to Bragging Camp. You got a little bit of show and tell. Does anybody have anything that they want to show off today?
Someone else brag first. I'll go grab it.
I forgot to grab mine. I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. Okay, so Eric said he's got something, right?
From Walmart. The
Mandalorian Night Owl.
Yeah.
Why is
plain blue female Mando, but
why is it still in the box?
My wife is asking the same question. I'll be sure to let her know that you said that.
All right.
Yeah.
And breathe.
Is that it?
No, I've got a couple other things.
Are those the Target or
Ooh, yes. I got OSHA.
Some of the other ones are in the post. And then I got a couple TVC figures coming in for the Ghost when that comes out. Ships. So
nice.
Cool.
All right. What else?
Cool.
that's about it.
Okay. I look like Rick had something.
Finally.
Hey.
Nice.
So these guys
Oh, look at that. Are those available now?
available now and now shipping. If I had access to my Instagram, I would share them with everybody. But you've been locked out for several months. No explanation, and of course, they don't have people. You just phone, not like 1-800-META. And these two kind of newer characters.
Nice.
You know what's funny? What's funny is I thought Rick was against AI, but obviously he's using some sort of a robotic tech to be broadcasting today. I wonder what he's really doing because you sound just like Max Headroom. Still,
I look like him, but I hope not don't sound like him. So yes, those are now shipping, and there's a few left in stock if anyone says.
All right.
But no news for me this week.
And then he's got that Hulk just teasing me over there in the corner.
Yeah, he likes putting it there, right?
Yeah.
Change up
Usually he hides that Bigfoot somewhere. Yeah, there it is, so that I can be jealous too.
What I want to bring up though is last week we're talking about New Dragon, the TM.
Yes.
For someone being like a vinyl here.
Uh-huh.
So this guy is vinyl. So I can't squish him, but he is softer plastic vinyl. So it's I wouldn't like it left if it was hard plastic or like it more. Like I do like it more because it's Sofubi style or vinyl. So hopefully that dragon's pretty cool and has some articulation, right?
Right.
Yeah. I want to see one. When someone gets one, I'll watch their video on it. I want to see it and then decide.
Hopefully they got a big 20-foot scale at the convention, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, we'll talk about the team out in a second. John, did you go get your stuff?
Oh, I got it. Yeah, we got stuff.
All right.
So,
Wait, Rick, were you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my stuff.
Okay.
a little bit of every line here. I got the Droidica.
Nice.
And two of these showed up actually, so I can have them both open. I'm gonna open them both and put them like in like my army build stuff.
Cool.
But this thing looks badass, man. It looks totally cool.
It's cool.
Pretty big box.
Yeah, it's a huge box. It's gigantic. It's way bigger than any of the other boxes. And speaking of big boxes, I can barely lift this one up.
I got hamburgers there.
Where's
blob.
the beef?
So this is Marvel's John Adams, or I'm sorry, Marvel's the Blob, and yeah.
Give him a beard.
So I can't wait. I'll open this up at sometime because I got to be messing with my
cool.
Marvel
I've never
shelf
seen
behind me.
So, John, did you ever get a selfie series?
No, is this it?
No, I'm just saying if you had gotten the selfie series figure, would you have done a head swap?
Pop the head on it? I don't know. We'll see. And then I want to say a big thank you to Connor.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Oh, nice.
So this showed up, and yeah, Connor says I owe him a pint next time I'm in Ireland. So,
Nice.
so I will definitely be buying him a pint next time I'm in Ireland. Like that
Nice.
happens every week, you know what I mean? But,
Did you know pints are like 70, 80 pounds each in Ireland?
well, but yeah, that's the three cool things I got lately. So, oh, and I bought a whole bag of stands for 6-inch figures. So
Is that from the same
from
place you got?
Yeah.
Nice.
And they have three different peg sizes, so they fit all 6- and 7-inch figures on the same stand.
Wow.
Oh,
So
cool.
it's I've already started testing it out, and it works really well with the Marvel Legends and GI Joe and Star Wars.
Oh,
Where'd you get those, John?
Huh?
Where'd you get those?
Figures Lab on Amazon. There's a place called Figures Lab, and they have their own store on Amazon, and they do all kinds of stuff for 3 3/4 and 6-inch figures, from vintage all the way to modern. You pick the color, you pick the size, you pick the peg hole size, and everything. And like 100 of these was not much. I can't remember offhand, but I think it was less than $20 for 100 stands.
What's their site? What's their website?
Figures Lab. It's only on Amazon. They don't have a website.
Oh, okay.
And then I bought this. This was, I want to say it was $15. Do they have the price on it? No, they don't. But it's a 4-tiered stand, and as you can see, there's pegs on every stand.
Okay.
And there's more pegs than you could use, so that way, whatever stance you put the figures, whether they're thin stanced or wide, they'll all fit on. So I'm going to be trying this thing out. But what I like is the prices are very reasonable for what you're buying, like compared to other things that I've seen on the market in the past. I've just been blown away by the quality you get for such a low price. Like that one wooden stand was like $10.99. That's in my video.
Right.
And how do you get a wooden stand with a glass top for $10? You don't. You go to any store and they're like $20, you know?
Yep.
So, and they don't have pegs on them. You know, these have pegs for you to put the figures on. So it's more than what you would buy in a regular store, you know?
Bag of 100 stands, a nice little riser, and you probably only spent $25, $5, right?
Yeah, it was around 30, I think, for both. Yeah, so
Okay.
35 maybe. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Thanks,
they have
Dan.
all
I was just
different-
about to do that.
Yeah, they have all different kinds of stuff. So like, you can select it for 6-inch, for 7-inch, for Black Series, for Marvel Legends, for vintage Star Wars, for 3 3/4, for modern 3 3/4. You know what I mean? It's like all GI Joe, Star Wars, whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's different colors: black,
Yeah.
clear.
I like
You know,
the clear,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
the option. Then they look like a pretty thin profile too. So
yeah, they're not bad, and they have different stands. They have little round ones, so you can put one on each foot, or they have the big square ones that like what I went for, or they have even longer ones that are like surfboard size.
Right.
You know, so there's a bunch of different options. It's not just, which is another thing I like. Is from one company you can buy 2 or 3 different options, and it could fit your whole collection. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
especially
Is that
those
every-
like I have so many Marvel Legend females that like they just
Yeah.
drive me nuts because like you know what I'm talking about
Yeah.
the
Moira is finally standing up fine right there
Yeah.
next to Charles, you know.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, she kept
Because of your
falling
new
over.
stand.
Yes, because of the new stand. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
All
gonna-
right, Dan. All right, Dan. What do you got?
Dan
All
got a
right,
drink.
so-
That's what he got, a drink.
Pre-ordered this on Big Bad Toy Store when I saw that TB League was doing a 1/12 scale figure instead of their
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
1/6
nice.
that they usually have.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Yep, it's Horus.
Wow.
Superposable. I know it keeps going in and out, but I mean the camera's obviously not going to do any justice to the detail
Right.
on this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Oh, I see it now. I could tell what it was without the side profile.
Yeah.
Him and Moon Knight going at it. That would be cool.
Yep, that's that was one of my first picture ideas that I thought about him or Khonshu, the build a figure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Which
Yeah.
company is that one?
TB League.
TB League.
Yeah, they're kind of hard to find. I know you can get
Maybe
them
because
on
their name is really strange.
you can get them on eBay, but you got to watch the sellers because a lot of them are overseas or they're jacking up the price.
They make a lot of those ones with that like soft
Yes.
skin, like whatever, where they look super realistic and they don't have the
Yeah.
joints, right? That's
And-
what
and
that
the-
is.
And the hair too. Yeah, the hair on
Yeah.
some of these is just amazing. You probably can't tell it, but yeah, it's got the squishy body and it's a metal skeleton.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a little different. They're kind of cool.
Yep.
All right.
$100.
80,
That's not bad.
70, 76 something.
All right, so Goodwill week for me.
Goodwill.
Ooh,
Ooh,
Got Darth Vader.
nice.
sweet.
I think this lot went for like just under $20, but it was like this Vader.
That's good just for him.
Did you already have them though?
No, I've only ever had like Chewbacca as a kid.
Okay.
Had this little vintage collection, I
Ooh.
guess, dude, in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Commander Bakara.
The car.
Wow. He
We're
had two- he
supposedly
came with two
getting them.
guns, but I don't know how he like holds both of them. So
No, they a lot of times just come with extra guns that they can't.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to pick one or the other. Yeah.
and then
Really?
it also
Yes.
had
Oh,
not
nice.
one, but two.
Two
Yeah.
stabs.
Wow. Yeah, I
What?
remember playing with those.
Those are cool.
Well, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly, that was the first toy that they ever released before we like.
Yeah.
Mace Windu was next.
They had those early on in '99. Yeah.
It took me a while to figure out how to fire the missile. Like you click it in, and it's like this piece right here
Yeah.
fires it. But I think they look pretty cool, and they got that.
No,
last
they're
one.
nice.
That was
Yeah.
a cool for sure.
And they came out with them again later on. I got Anakin. Anakin was on one that's blue. I
Uh-huh.
got that one with a couple other ones. Yeah.
Even
Cool.
Toys made those.
And then if you've watched Star Wars Acolyte, the new Darth OSHA came out.
Yeah.
I'm just
Have you
kidding.
got both OSHA and May yet? And have you done a head swap?
What?
Have you got OSHA and May?
No, what I did was I didn't even bother picking up the May figure. I didn't like the way it looked.
This is really no point anymore.
Yeah, now, right?
Yeah, now
You get a lot of accessories with the OSHA figure.
Yeah, the OSHA was pretty good, just because of everything that it came with.
Yeah.
But now you need the OSHA and their new out with their new accessories.
Yeah,
With the grays. Yeah.
yeah, that one will be like the cool one to get, right? Because you'll get the let's see, hold on.
Do you think we'll see more Acolyte toys
I hope so.
revealed at Comic-Con? Or
Uh,
at all?
At Comic Con, yeah, I bet you that we get Kamir.
Stranger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Here or the
reveal.
Stranger? Or
Because I
both?
mean,
Like,
you can't have that whole show without having at least him, and you probably will get who's the senator guy who's going to ultimately be the Sith?
I don't think it's gonna be the Sith. I think he's just
Rain Court.
introduced that
Yeah,
character
the guy
for
that
some
wanted
reason.
to send Venestra up in front of the council. I think he's secretly,
Working
like
with Plagueis or something.
yeah, or maybe his master.
Yeah.
I just knew he was in the show.
Right.
I'd want to see Kelnaka at least. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just think they're
Naka
gonna-
and the Stranger. But would the Stranger be like a deluxe figure where you know have him be Khmer or
No, that's an opportunity to sell 2 figures.
Yeah. I
But
think
do
they
you
got to
want
do one.
Khmer?
They got to do one that's sleeveless, and yeah. So I think
Yeah,
I
they
think they're
will.
probably going to have one that's just not sleeveless, and it's like the one from what episode was it 5 or something from the big battle on Kofar, where he's just got the helmet and you can't have him without the helmet. You don't see his face. And then I think they're going to do like one without the like overcoat, probably. And
So
I could
without
see
the
a
helmet.
full
Eric,
range of
do they
figures
have? Do they do this version?
Yeah,
I
with the
could
stars
see
on his back.
of figure here. Like, so who would the other 3 or 4 figures be besides Khmer or the Stranger and
Basil.
Kelnaka?
For a
Basil.
whole another wave?
I want a Basil.
Basil, yeah, the
figure.
little
Oh,
sniffer
the
beaver
little guy. Yeah, the little guy.
Probably a couple of
Ver-
those. The other
Vernestra
Jedi-
with the lightsaber whip.
And I'm gonna say
Yep.
the witch lady mom because they're in the poster as well, and that would round up
That's true.
every character in the picture with the little
But-
beaver guy.
That'd be a boring
Hold on.
figure.
But honestly, from my opinion, the next wave will have a couple of those other random Jedi guys, so they could reuse the same body.
No,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean, see
honestly.
that with all those man buns and tails.
No, the guy that was like, the guy that was always with Venestra, he'll be in the next wave.
Mog.
They can reuse the body in that situation, right? Maybe one other Jedi, because if it's 5 or 6 figures, obviously that saves him a boatload of money.
Yeah. So they're gonna make Master Vern for sure.
Yeah, they'll make
like-
Venestra Road.
And I'm only saying that because of all the Acolyte, talking shows I watched over the past. They all just call her Vern now.
Yeah.
Like they're so comfortable with Venestra that they can just call her Vern. So
Did they
I don't
really?
think we'll get a Plagueis figure. At least not yet.
Oh no,
No,
That-
no,
that's
not
gotta
yet,
be
no.
season 2.
so yeah,
Yeah.
Venestra, the Stranger, Naka, the little otter beaver guy. It's just Mother
Torben.
1, Mother 2. So there can wave right there.
Torben's missing.
See, the problem is you guys are just assuming that they're going to make a character that's been like highlighted in the show
Torben,
before
yeah.
they make some character who was just a background shot. And then you got to remember that there's still no Carson Teva action figure.
Yeah.
Carson was a played extras. Finally get a figure.
All right. Let's say hi to Ricardo, who just joined us. We got
How's it going?
Prophet in here.
Prophet.
Yeah, Prophet.
Let's see. I saw that we had Justin Booth joined us saying hello. Okay, so
Silver Scratch.
Silver Scratch is here. Oh yeah, hello.
When did he sneak in? Oh, he just snuck in.
Okay, so anyway, Rick did not do a Star Wars Acolyte after show this week. After the most important episode, he probably didn't bother to take a screenshot of every frame
Slipping.
the show. So does anybody have anything that they want to talk about now that the finale of Acolyte has aired?
I have a theory.
Okay. Hold on. Do you want me to play the?
Is there a theory song before we go into a theory?
Well, it's the Rick one. Hold on.
Oh,
Super John theory. Oh, go ahead.
Rick theory. I don't know. I think that the scene showing Darth Plagueis and quite possibly even the end scene showing Yoda were not in the original cut of this last episode. The Yoda one might have been added like a couple weeks ago because they had to actually film the green girl opening a door. But because like in the beginning they were adamant that Yoda was not going to be in the show.
They
But then-
also went on all their press tours, and that guy said he never swung a lightsaber.
Right.
And they and I think as the show was going on and they were seeing the ratings for each episode drop and drop and drop, and the hate online going up and up and up, they went, crap, we got to do something to like really end this show. So they said, let's put Yoda at the ending. And they filmed a quick scene of her to get her in makeup again, just for 5 minutes. So you can then open a door. And they added that a couple weeks ago. And then just last week they went, this isn't going to be enough. If we do can we do a 3-second clip with Darth Plagueis? And someone said, yeah, because he's all CGI. We don't even need a set. We can just CGI some rocks and CGI him, and we'll just play the scene of the ship flying away, and it'll be like he was there, you know. So they added that in CGI. Literally, they did it the night before and just added it in right at the last second. Because that completely changes things for me. If that Darth Plagueis scene was not in that final episode, I would have said, I do not need to see another season of Acolyte. I don't care about May. By the end of the show, I don't care about May. I don't care about Osha. I only care about the dark side guy, the stranger. He's the only one I really want to see more of from the show. But as soon as they put that as soon as they put that scene with Plagueis in, I went, all right, now I want season 2 of Acolyte. I don't care what it is.
Wait a minute, John. Wait a minute.
So I think they did that just because they catch people like me to come back to the show.
When Osha all of a sudden had stronger force powers than everyone else, which mirrored what Rey did in the Force Awakens, that didn't like hook you immediately?
No, it didn't. No.
So
I'm pretty sure I knew Plagueis was going to be in it all along.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
as predicted. So that wasn't added in. She's said the word Plagueis in her speeches and her interviews many times, and how much she wants to do more of that. You know, Uncharted universe. You know, the expanded universe, the Legends that's now, and she did a lot with this series. And that was the part I liked about the series, was the diving into the so much with either characters or bleeding the lightsaber, or like even some of the old swipes on screen from scene to scene. There was a couple of good ones in this episode too, from the Sith kick crossed over to a lightsaber flash. Like, that was great, man. Like it didn't make the episode the best one of the series. That's I appreciate the effort. I know lots of talk about the budget and $180 million this and that, and it's all cost a lot of money. They're never going to make a low budget live action Star Wars. Each episode's only 100 grand, it's all. They're trying to make it cheaper by using the stagecraft, and which is the updated green screen, and they're still using all that tech, but these actors, whether they're big names or not, got to pay them well. And usually it involves, okay, you're with us for 4 years. Might make another movie or a series or not, but we'll let you know. In 4 years, don't work. Don't plan to work for another one long movie or something until you talk to us. But I liked it. There's 2 or 3 episodes that stood out overall. Episode 5, and that's this one. And even if you just, I don't know, you've watched it all in order now, episodes 1 to 8.
Rick,
you would get out of it. Then we struggled weekly to be like, oh, please Rick, tell us this answer. Other than that,
I'm okay. I don't want to lose the train of thought, but your microphone is super choppy. And I'm just wondering, do you think it could be the plugs, or do you have a different mic or something, the computer you're using, or is this all related to that like big crash that we had?
It was the crowd strike.
You have to switch the mic. Oh, let me unmute you. No, you have to actually, yeah.
I did unplug my mic and plug it back in again.
Okay, so yeah, now you're not.
It's better than it was. Yeah.
What?
Oh, I think you just had to adjust your glasses, and now it works.
Yeah.
That did it?
Yeah.
Why don't we try that first?
Yeah.
I'm Canadian.
Who works tech support that when people call you, you just say, "Well, did you restart your computer?"
Have you tried turning it on and off?
Pretty much everybody, right?
First thing they teach you, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the Acolyte. Not my favorite show. definitely not my least favorite show.
Uh-huh.
I like some of the new cast members now. I follow them on social media. Like, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. Like, definitely, if not a season 2, there will be a continuing story.
Oh, of course.
Let's call it a spin-off, maybe with
Someone will pick up these characters.
Plagueis or the Stranger and young Palpatine and whatever happens with Oshi. And I look forward to it. Hopefully, it's not a cartoon or comic, but
Can I step in and just share some of my thoughts on this? So for me, I think the first season. Yeah. for me, I think the first season of The Acolyte, and hopefully it is the first season, because if anyone in a leadership position at Lucasfilm, Disney Plus didn't know what was or if they were aware of what happened in the finale and didn't immediately green light a second season, I don't know what they're doing, right?
Yeah, right.
Every reasonable Star Wars fan will want to see what happens after that, just because of the Plagueis connection, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But that aside, I think Leslie Headland and team had an idea for this. Is the way it came off to me. They had an idea for a great finale and a story that they wanted to tell, and not that they phoned it in for the first 7 episodes, but it was almost like everything was kind of just, it was almost like you didn't have enough time with any of those, any groups of the characters, whether it was the 4 Jedi, Osha May, or the Stranger, Chimera, to really know or care about them. It was almost like whose show was it at the end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
But now of course the show is called The Acolyte, and it's leading into now Osha spending time with the Stranger and maybe the Plagueis connection and all that stuff, right? Which is awesome. But it's almost like they came up with a great ending and didn't spend enough time in the early parts of the season. And to me, not that it's 100% analogous to it, but the strongest kind of connection I can make is to the first season of Game of Thrones, right? Where you spend all this time with Ned Stark, right? And then he's fucking killed at the end.
Yeah,
right?
I like it.
Right, he's gone. Sorry for the swearing, but he's gone, and that's the equivalent of the core group of Jedi, right? In this season, and now you're moving on to the guts of the story that you really care about more than anything. So to me, I think they could have spent more time with a lot of the other characters to understand the history and develop them. But I really want to see more. The finale rocked.
Yeah, I think if you look at the story, I think the way that they built up to the end, not the way it ended, that last episode, and maybe when they went to go to kill Nakas, those 2 episodes, and maybe part of the story of the kids from when the Jedi show up at the ceremony and then end up testing the kids to that whole thing, right, where they have the battle. I think all that could have been the entire show. It would have flowed really well. I understand that they needed to build, the episodes, and I think that's where it got weak, is because it was a show, you had to have these extra fill times. So it kind of sucks in the long run when you think oh, well, this didn't need to be in there. This was a waste of time. And as you're going along, right? But if you think about it, they needed to have a 8-episode show, so they threw in that extra stuff. It could have been tighter,
but they could have fleshed it.
Yes,
they could have fleshed all that out more by having longer episodes and more episodes. I think
I agree with you.
Where you would have cared more about all of those characters, and the weights of their deaths could have meant more at the end of the day, right?
It's kind of like what you're both saying. They took a movie and they mixed in the prequel.
Yes, extra
every
stuff.
episode. Let's mix in 10 minutes of prequel stuff, where maybe they should have just had a season 1 or 3 or 4 episodes that told that original timeline 15 years ago, whatever it was, in chronological order, without. I know it would have
weird
the
storytelling,
overall mystery of what the series is about, but I think that's the thing that we say the writing, but I'm calling it the editing of how the story is told
Right.
because it was very choppy that way. Like I said,
Yeah.
the first 4 episodes was every episode OSHA was waking up in a different place, and we didn't know.
And then May was waking up in the end.
What timeline are we on here? Like, where are we going? So the timeline kind of hurt a little bit. We've seen flashbacks work. I guess
It's hard to place blame on the writers, though.
But I think,
like,
they squeezed 2 seasons into 1 season, and now they're just, please give us more to continue the story.
Yes, exactly, Jonathan. Right. It's easy to blame. It's easy to blame the writers, but you don't know if it was the writers' fault saying this is the entirety of the story we want to tell, or if it was Lucasfilm, Walt Disney Company, or Disney Plus people that were saying, no, you got to cram it in and fit it into this structure.
I bet you they have I just imagine that what they're told when they're creating the series is they are told you have 337 minutes, let's say, and then you got to break it down. And then there's no easy way to break down chapters if one chapter is longer and another chapter is shorter, except for cutting the chapter in half.
I think that's wrong. I do think that's wrong.
Yeah. But going back to the story, can I ask, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think that Khmer knew they were being watched in the cave, or do you think Plagueis was in there spying on them?
That's a big question, right?
Yeah, it is a question. Yeah,
because Khmer's like, he's not full Sith because he doesn't have Sithy eyes.
Right.
They made a clear design decision to show the Sith eyes on Plagueis creeping behind the thing. So you don't know if Khmer is his apprentice at all, or if Plagueis was just kind of following him because he's like, oh, this place has.
He's looking for an apprentice, maybe, right?
And and he's searching around, and he just detects the bond between
it could be
May and OSHA or whatever, and he's following that, or I actually listened because I was curious to go back, and while I was driving up to the house here from the condo, I was listening to Revenge of the Sith, and I specifically was anticipating getting to that scene where he was like, have you ever heard the legend of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and then Palpatine reiterates that whole story about how he could manipulate the midichlorians to create life,
right?
And then I just went, well, I'm in the
and
car.
I learned it and killed him.
I was like, oh crap, what if the mother only thinks she created the twins, but really it's been Plagueis all along watching we wanted to create a divergence in the Force and use the mothers to do it, and now he's been watching these children from afar as they grow up.
Also, is that horny mom still alive?
So that's why she very well could be. I think
Leslie Headland came out and said no body.
No body.
No body. Because
So
I think she was talking about that
I was gonna throw out there.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering, and that's why Plagueis was there on that planet, because he hasn't been following the stranger. He's been following OSHA and May, seeing which one, you know what I mean? Since they were born, because he manipulated the midichlorians into the.
You know what might be possible, my theory, to answer your question directly, Vern. I think Khmer does have a relationship with Plagueis, but I don't think it's of master and apprentice. I think Khmer is to Plagueis as what what's her name?
Ventress.
Ventress is to Dooku.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Plagueis is still the apprentice, and Tenebris is floating around
still out there
else.
somewhere. Yeah.
That's what I think, and I think
so maybe it's maybe it's too early in the story for Plagueis to have learned how to manipulate the midichlorians yet.
All right.
Yeah,
well, this is clearly the genesis of that. Whatever light switch has just gone off in his head, and he's going to be pursuing that, right?
Yeah. Someone else said, maybe Plagueis is going to experiment and fuse them together, do something weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you never know.
Millennium Workshop was saying that. So I have another not so serious question. In the finale, they had a pretty good fight scene. It was kind of like, to me, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, a total throwback to Black Belt theater. So why did they not run and then jump in the air and then clash lightsabers and then land?
Cool.
Yeah,
almost
right.
did, Vern. They almost did. They did everything but that. There was wire walking or rope walking.
There
whatever
was.
you wanna call it.
I was totally expecting that, like them running from opposite sides, jumping, and then like land.
There you
Well,
go.
we-
I'm surprised we don't see more of in shows and
Yeah.
movies like this is drone footage, like whether it's a 360 or something that they can do. I guess they have to have a fully 360 environment, but they have that now with stagecraft. So you get a drone in there that's going around and from the top of lightsabers battling. Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen experiments with that with any of these shows with 8 different directors in a show, in a season. Like, I'm sure they all have their own little tips and tricks and trade secrets and stuff they like to do. So I'm suggesting this to all you filmmakers out there: get some of that drone footage in there. It's new and cool and badass. Do it.
The other thing they confirmed, which I think a lot of us theorized, was that Chimere or the Stranger, whatever his name is, really has a prior relationship with Vernestra.
Yeah, Vern was his master.
So whether he was her Padawan at a certain point in time, I don't know why I said that weird, but I don't know if that was the case or whatnot. But clearly that's something that needs to be delved into in a second season.
Yeah.
Well, who was Pelagis's master? Wasn't he?
Tenebris, a bit.
Tenebris.
The freaking
Was it-
Dan looking guy.
Yeah.
He was a bit with like a face mask,
Oh, okay.
It's like friggin'
like
Dan,
different Dan. Yeah.
All right.
which is cool.
can't-
Like, who doesn't want to see that creature in
Yeah,
live action Star Wars
the
again?
Cantina band guys. Hey, Eric, would you care if they got someone else to do the second season, or would you rather it stay with the team they got?
That doesn't matter to me as long as we get a great story.
A good story.
It was
Yeah,
still
yeah.
5 different directors.
Would you
though,
be
right?
fine with a season 2 that had like 4 good episodes and 4 episodes like the ones you did?
4 would be wicked, man. Like, but there wasn't 4 really good episodes in this. There,
Well, I think,
there was 3.
I feel like you could have put
2 for
2
sure.
episodes together, right? And that would have been like an epic episode.
Yeah.
But as we have it, we did have another epic episode, which was like an entire battle scene. But paired with the story of the previous, the portion of the previous episode could have been a really good episode, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
in total. And
But
then
can
if,
you imagine I'm going to say older drama shows, but successful drama shows, they all had like hour-long episodes, whether it's
Look at the boys in House of the Dragon. They're going on right now, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have awesome
Same with
hour-long episodes. I don't
Shogun
understand
now. Shogun,
why
Yeah.
Disney can't do it.
Well,
Shogun couldn't
yeah,
do that in
hold on.
20-minute episodes.
but here's the thing. Here's why I think it's like different though, right? Like I think it's the way that they write the story. So like
Yeah.
Disney's doing this thing where they like write a story, they film it, and then they figure out how to break it up.
Yeah.
House of Dragons
sure they do.
is like writing episodes over an overarching story. So they're making every episode like a traditional TV show. That's why there's a difference.
That's what I kind of feel the same way. I think that especially this one
And maybe
was just
maybe Disney needs to fix that. Maybe they need to go back to the drawing board and tell their writers and creators, hey, build a story, but write episodes for your
Because I
story.
really think the season 1 of Mando and season 1 of Andor were written like they were proper serialized TV shows. Like
Because they
every
could all
episode's gonna
stand on their
finish
own,
and
right?
Start, or
Yeah.
it's gonna start and finish and have a middle part and maybe a little cliffhanger at the end and a little teaser for next week. Like they had a purpose. But this series, some of the episodes, I know they had a purpose, but it wasn't obvious because we don't know that you're going to tell the other side of the story in 3 episodes. We assumed it and we theorized it, but we don't know. You could just go to another planet and introduce 4 new characters for no reason.
But with the way they cut apart 3 and 7, into like the Rashomon type, like different perspective storytelling. There was nothing, in my opinion, maybe the creators would disagree, but I don't think that there was anything that was revealed in 7 that was so earth-shattering that it would have spoiled the story if it was told. If you saw all the different perspectives in episode 3, right? Like
my mom. This was pretty funny because you know how my mom usually like enjoys a lot of this Star Wars content from an outsider, from a casual fan's kind of perspective. She has no idea about the lore and how things interconnect. She just watches it as an entertaining show in the Star Wars universe. She even said this show particular had characters she didn't care about, and it had 2 episodes that were exactly the same that gave her no additional information, and she wondered why she was watching the same thing over again.
No additional information is a stretch, but I
She just said, "Why am I watching the same episode over again?"
They did reveal some things, but it wasn't like the payoff wasn't substantial enough to split and burn through another episode. I think
Deadpool.
As a whole, I think this season would have been better if it dropped all the episodes all at once.
Yeah,
that experience would have been better for the show.
Did you watch it all, Dan? Did you see all 8 episodes?
Well, we just spoiled it.
Well, I was sitting here trying not to pay too much attention because I'm like,
la 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 la.
I'm still trying to get through the boys. So,
I didn't know you didn't watch it. And I was like, oh, look, the new Sith OSHA. So I just totally gave it away.
I was very entertained by the boys overall this season.
Oh,
it's weird and it's messed up, but it's
is
entertaining as hell. For adult men.
I haven't finished it yet.
I think my challenge to anyone at Lucasfilm and Disney Plus and Disney as a whole, look at what other studios are doing. It is possible. You need to hold yourselves to higher standards. You can't tell longer stories on streaming. Right?
Wait a minute.
Tony Gilroy.
I have to argue with this thing, Connor saying, and this fight that's being written into modern shows arguably only exists in California bubble. Everything's happening in Vancouver now, so I don't know why. Nothing's happening here in California.
Yeah.
Well, some of it's happening in Fort Lauderdale. That's where they filmed Bad Boys
that's
15
true, right?
or whatever that show was.
Where would they get that best tax break?
Because I remember they had half the damn city closed down. You couldn't drive. I couldn't drive to work a couple days because they were like, you can't go anywhere near because Will Smith and them are filming down here. So they had the.
It was like that downtown Vancouver the past month for The Last of Us.
It was closed for miles in
John,
so you couldn't drive anywhere near where they were actually shooting. Like
you did not look at the police officer who had the road closed and says, "You don't know who I am? I'm Jack Black."
I remember
I'm in the movie. I got to get to the set.
Back in the day, I walked through the set of Man of Steel in Chicago when they were filming some scenes. I was walking.
See, they weren't letting you drive.
Well, I was wearing a black Chicago Blackhawks sweater walking through the set, and they're like, hey, it's do you not know who like a PA came up to me and my now wife, we're wearing hockey sweaters, and the PA's like, do you know what you're doing? And I'm like, I'm walking home. I was just at the Blackhawks game. And she's like, no, this is a movie set. Do you know who's standing right next to you? And I'm like, I don't give a. And it was Zack Snyder.
Wow.
Was he short?
Like about my head. Yeah, I mean, not maybe a little bit taller than me. I don't know.
I was just curious how tall these guys really are.
It was like 2011-ish, I want to say.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, they weren't letting they were blocking traffic like 3 or 4 miles out from where they were actually shooting. And there were people walking down the street, like crowds of people. And I was like, oh, that must be where they're going. But I'm like, I'm not going to park the car way out here and walk 4 miles in just to get a glimpse of Will Smith, filming.
I saw a movie being filmed once in the 90s. And I was like, well, there's not a lot of people here. It must be a small time movie. And I walk up and it's a Snoop Dogg cowboy horror movie. And I go, and Snoop Dogg is like 7'4", like he's a big
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I had no idea he was such a giant man, and literally walked right by him. Like there wasn't security everywhere. It was a small budget movie. Like if you look it up, like it probably never even got printed to like.
You said this was in the 90s? Because wasn't he in some Netflix movie
Maybe
with
early.
like vampires or
This
something?
is before
Night
Netflix.
Shift.
Like this is
Yeah.
when you had to mail away for Netflix. It was a long time ago. But yeah,
Okay,
he was
it's not
just a
that
cowboy.
recent.
I think it was a horror movie, and yeah, nothing. Like I could have been in the movie and I wouldn't know it, right? Because
Right. Well,
Yeah,
that's
we
what I
just
was
managed
wondering.
to-
If we watch back that Man of Steel, is Eric in a background shot walking through the destruction of the city?
Screaming like,
Yeah.
I don't give a.
Getting yelled at by a stagehand.
And Zack Snyder's, yes, we need that energy.
Yeah.
Well, it was like
Bones?
there was a scene with a bunch of like extras falling from a roof during like the destruction of Metropolis. Yeah.
it must
The
be because I'm
Bones?
sure he's only made like 2 movies, right? Like
Bones. Could
No,
be.
he's made quite a few now. But
I mean,
yeah.
he's had cameos in a lot, but like
yeah, he was in Starsky and Hutch, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
He
Huggy.
was the pimp
No,
daddy.
Daddy Huggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huggy.
Huggy Bear.
Yeah.
All right, let's say hi to KCC Toys. He's in here. Connor from Fuller's Figures is here. Millennium Workshop. Bender Rodriguez. Margaret Wood is here. Thank you for joining us. I think it's the first time I've seen you in the chat. Let's see. Millennium Workshop. I think it's the first time I've seen him in the chat too.
You got
Yeah, he
KCC
did
Toys
that.
too?
He did that helmet for the Stranger.
Rex
Really
Street.
cool, man. That
Yeah,
does some
check
good
his
work.
videos.
You got to check out his stuff.
And
I
he
think
made it before we
Yeah,
even
KCC,
knew it
right?
was like a bronze color.
Yeah. He made it the correct color.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, you guys done with Star Wars?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah.
Forever.
I still
Never
love
again.
Star
Talk
Wars.
about it ever again.
All right. And then okay, so we were gonna do some sort of GI Joe HasLab stuff. Everybody was keen that it was the Rattler, and then we got some leaked images with some blast effects and some accessories, right? And it doesn't look like a Rattler in these pictures, whether these are real or not. They had this picture in the thing. I edited a little bit, and I'll go to the next screen. And then they have this list of tiers, which is a Cobra Paratrooper, Ground Crew, and Strato Viper. And I just kind of found these on GIJOE website.
Wait, I'm just gonna take a screen grab of this.
All right.
See, I saw another. You confused me on the text because I saw another thing that was posted with an article just like last week. They were talking about they were leaning towards the hovercraft, the whale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Well,
I'm like, I don't know what they saw, but it had something to do. Whatever it is that they saw, it had something to do with. They were kind of thinking it was leaning that way.
Okay, so
If there are like paratroopers and like jets on this, it's probably not a hovercraft.
well, one, the thing is, we don't know that these leaks are real, right? They're just leaks. What they did
That's
post
why I
was
question
they
this.
posted,
Because
hold on, they posted a picture of
has-
the Cobra Commander and then the little logo with the wings on it, which was first seen on the Rattler. But later people are saying, well, that's really just saying Cobra Air Force, so it could be any
Yes.
of the Cobra Air vehicles. And then we see this, and if you look at that jet pattern, it really does look like this.
Is that called the not Sky Striker? What's that
Raven.
called? The Night Raven?
Night Raven.
Well, wait
Yes.
a minute. Those are two engines very close together. So
Okay,
where?
so you see the red one closest to you, John, on the Night Raven?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say that is the one that's close, the flame that's closest to me, and then I might say that the other engine is the one on the little tiny ship that's attached to the top.
On the roof?
I don't know why it's blowing, and then maybe it's
that
concealing
one
the other
doesn't.
blast
That
effect.
the little ship doesn't thrust the big ship, but you got to remember the.
Wait a minute, we can have a
Didn't
whole
the-
argument about that, but yeah.
Wait, let's look up a picture of the Rattler because didn't the Rattler have two little jets at the back of it?
Is that the
Yeah, but-
warthog looking
Yeah. I
plane?
guess. John, what?
It's got wing engines, doesn't it? The Rattler?
Yeah.
What I want to know is who still has an iPhone 1? Like, seriously, who still uses an iPhone 1
I
for
thought you
photography
did.
purposes?
You. You
Yeah.
said you had an iPhone.
Yeah, but
1.
the photo would be better in this. You purposely have to take this photo into Photoshop, scale it down to 1 inch, close it, then open it up again and scale it back up to 4 inches to get this blurry effect. Like I don't think you can purposely
All right,
get
John.
a photo like this from any modern digital camera equipment whatsoever.
I'm sharing this
See,
image from
that's
There's
what
there's an engine. There's an engine on the back in between the two wings.
Just
yeah,
one,
but
right?
it's only one.
Yeah, but I mean, they
It
could
doesn't
be
take off like that. It
modernizing
uses the other ones to take off because
Detail.
the wings turn.
Yeah, but once it's in the air, the big engine in the back, it's not there for show. It actually
I don't
thrusts
know.
the ship.
This picture is from Rick's favorite website, so it almost looks like it's gotta be a Night Raven at this point.
But
Yeah, and
the
I've
kinda
never
think-
confirmed it was
know.
going to be a Rattler because originally I don't think they said it was a HasLab for a classified. They just said GI Joe, but now it's been confirmed it is a GI Joe classified HasLab.
Here,
And I think
Jonathan's
all of
making a
these
good
planes
point.
are way too big.
Look,
Jonathan's right.
Jonathan's
It'd be
making a
like
really
doing
good
an
point,
X-wing.
Rick. Because when we were talking about those Cantina leaks, you were also talking about the iPhone 1
Yeah.
pictures, and it
It's
turned
like
out
they're
to be
done on
true.
it's done on purpose though, because you can't
That's what he's saying.
like
Yeah.
accidentally
Yeah.
take a photo and have it be like 120p. Like it's not
Yeah.
a setting on your cameras.
Yeah,
anymore.
this is to leak something without leaking it.
yeah, exactly.
Yes. So
But
like,
I would be shocked if it was a Night Raven because they would have to do one of two things. Either they would make the Night Raven only 4 feet long, and everyone on the planet would complain that it's stunted and way too short, or because the original toy is 4 feet long, or they would have to make it a 6.5 foot long ship, and they're not going to make a 6.5
No
foot
way.
long Black Series, or whatever
Yeah.
classified series. I don't
Well-
care if it's a HasLab or not, because a 6.5 foot long ship is going to be $1,000, and no one's going to go for that.
All right. Do you want to know
So-
what my theory is behind why they would do a Night Raven? Okay, so Hasbro told the GI Joe team, "You're just knocking it too far out of the park. You're making the other brands look bad. You need to make a HasLab that's not going to be successful, so that these other guys get a little bit pumped up because they're getting slammed right now in the media or within collectors and stuff like that. So we need you to make the Night Raven. It needs to be $800, and the tiers got to be like horrible. So what you need
Play
to
it
do
fails.
is just
Yeah. We're purposely trying to make them fail. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What would you rather have it if it was between these two? Like I've got no affinity for this
the
kind of stuff.
Rattler, obviously.
I would rather have the Rattler. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Because I agree with Jonathan. The Rattler, the Night Raven is cool, but it's not as iconic as the Rattler.
It's
yeah.
not. The only problem with the Night Raven is they did get that re-release for the GI Joe movies, so it's kind of been around through 2 releases, right? Where I think that they might be thinking, oh, it's more familiar to people who are like 90s
I think that had the more recent re-release, but the Rattler's been out like 6 different times. So
yeah,
It's
so
also kind of loosely based off like A10 Warthog, which looks really cool to begin with.
and they might also be saying like, look, how is somebody going to put this on a shelf with those wings sticking off of the Rattler? Right, but if we build this, it's long and sleek, so it will fit on a 24-inch
this has a wider
shelf.
wings. The original toy had a wider wingspan than the Rattler.
But they lock back.
You can
Yeah,
what do you
they
mean?
can
No,
be
these
swept
wings
back.
don't move.
You could like the F-14. You could make them like
These wings don't move.
but they
I mean,
could
just-
make it like that.
Just think
Oh,
about how
okay, I
big
see
that
what you're saying.
dragonfly is
Yeah.
and how big this raven would have to be, like John
Yeah,
said.
well, that's the
Well,
thing. The
helicopters
dragonfly's
are-
built like narrow, right? Because even the blades turn in such a way that if you had it on a shelf sideways, it could sit in the shelf.
It's like
the Rattler-
32.
Yeah, it's gonna be
32.
what if it's just a fang?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it'll be the Fang helicopter. Yeah,
Well, because
exactly.
that could be a 6-inch, but it wouldn't be a HasLab. It would be
No,
a
that'd be
smaller
a
No, it
standard.
wouldn't. That would
end of
definitely
the
just be a
ILS target.
I think that's why we haven't seen the Snowcat, because that's probably going to end up being like the Vamp in a like $100,
Yeah.
$120 price
It-
point or something.
If it is this Rattler, like comparatively speaking, that seems like it would have a similar sort of wingspan at scale to an X-wing, and they've pretty much told us we're not getting a Black Series X-Wing ever. So what's going on? If that,
Yeah, right.
Like,
I
I'd
think
be,
that's similar
yeah.
to what someone else said earlier in the chat. Was like, wait a minute, if they make this, wouldn't it be similar in size to an
Yes.
X-Wing? Like, why
Yeah.
couldn't we get that? Yeah.
Well, you can't get an X-Wing because you want it, and 2, because the Hasbro Star Wars team, you know, you're probably going to get a Carson Teva X-Wing before you get a Luke X-Wing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And then that's where you're going to get the figure. It's going to be locked behind the HasLab. This
I'm
is
cool
your
with that, though.
opportunity
I'm cool
to
with
get
that.
the
It'll just come with extra stickers.
Yeah.
Blue stickers or red stickers, you know, that's
Oh,
What about that little VTOL?
yeah, I was just
vehicle? Was that
Googling GIJOE Cobra vehicles, and
the
there's only been
Skyhawk?
a couple that fly.
The Skyhawk had 2 engines that were really close together like that, and they were both round engines.
So
But isn't a Skyhawk small enough to
And that
be like
picture
a
is also
regular?
on an
Yeah, I
aircraft
was gonna
carrier
say-
too. You can see the lines like of the
the
road.
flag.
Skyhawk was like the size of a fang, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Does
like,
Cobra
is it a
have an
small-
aircraft carrier too? Like that's
No,
why
they
all
don't.
these things
Yeah.
are suspicious.
Sonny,
Yeah.
I think that Phantom would be just as big as the Raven.
Yeah,
I
I
remember
think
right.
somebody went out and just took a screen photo of a plane taken off from an aircraft carrier. You're right, Rick. This is fake. Anyways, did anybody come up with their idea for tiers if it ends up being the Rattler?
Homework.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm good.
I
for
didn't.
here. No, you didn't.
You know, I actually do have an idea.
Okay.
For something like, I've got no idea about the history or anything, but just doing some quick Googling and trying to imagine how big this thing is. I'm not sure if it would be just included in the base offering or possibly an early tier, but for something like this, I think it would be in Hasbro's to provide, like, you know, you've some of the vehicles, you know, we get like mounts, right? Like, or stands. I
Right.
think they should come with like formal, like, kit to hang from your ceiling.
Like a ceiling
Yeah.
fan attachment.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that yourself, right? But I think it would be in their best interest to have something out of the box so that you could
Yeah.
hang from your ceiling securely.
I think what would be really cool, because if you see that Dragonfly has that like clear stand, right? It's like kind of clear and it's supposed to hold it up. If they created a stand for the Rattler, right, which kind of interconnected with the stand that they built for the Dragonfly, so that you have them, and if you put them on your shelf, they would be kind of like an aerial battle with each other. Would be like super cool, because that's designing them to work together. I don't know that. All right, what's
It'll
your
be
tier?
big. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
If like the Ghost is like their base size, the Cantina, you base the size now. Like, things are getting a little bigger and they're going up $100.
Yeah.
So
John, what are your tiers? Let's hear some of your tiers.
Well, I had a couple questions because I was like assuming that the Rattler driver,
Right.
Wild Weasel, would come with it. But
Yes.
when they did the His Tank, was the His Tank driver a tier, or was he part of the package?
No, I think it was part of the package.
And Wild Bill was part of it. He wasn't a tier. Wild Bill was part of the Dragonfly. Okay. So then, the Rattler driver, Wild Weasel, would come with the Rattler, so he's not a tier. So I was thinking then one of the tiers would be a stand, because I think it was a tier with the Razor Crest, right? The stand wasn't automatically there originally. That was part of the tiers, wasn't it? With the Razor Crest.
You might.
No.
Yeah, but I think with the Dragonfly it was included.
But the Dragonfly included a stand.
I'll go look while you're
got me curious. I got it up here.
Part of the packaging.
Yeah, I thought it was part of the deal.
Because you have to have a stand for the Rattler, and I was just thinking that they might do that as the first tier, and then the second tier, I thought exactly like what you. It was funny you showed that picture of a paratrooper, because I was like, they would probably make a Cobra paratrooper, because that's the only kind, and it would be a standard like black trooper, or the blue troopers, or it would be
Okay.
like a Viper trooper, but with a parachute.
How's a paratrooper come out of a plane like that though?
Well, in all the
all have the
cartoon
hat.
episodes, every episode, if they shot down a plane, the guy always parachuted out. So I'm like, it's
thought you were
kind of
talking
part of
about
the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
realistically, no, you're not gonna. I mean,
You don't think they do something crazy like because didn't that Rattler come out as different vehicles before, and there was one that had like a Scarlet pilot or something? Do you think they try to do that type of a deal?
where they would have a cross. Well, they did a Tiger Force version that GI Joe was in, and that was but that was yellow with black stripes. So I don't know how you would convert a fully blue plastic into yellow with tiger stripes.
No, yeah, I feel like they did like a red one or something like that. And
No.
wasn't there?
The
There
red,
was a
the red one was the Crimson Guard. It was still Cobra.
Oh, okay. And then did Zartan come with this thing once too, or something like that?
No, not the Rattler. I don't think.
Oh.
There was the Tiger Force Rattler, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was the one that GI Joe used. Like the story was they captured a crashed Rattler and fixed it up and then repainted it for their Tiger Force use.
All right.
So that's why they only had just one in their arsenal.
Are there any
But,
like mechanics in
But
Cobra
I thought the other thing I thought too was there's a gunner position down the fuselage that has a canopy that closes over it. So I thought, yeah, so that paratrooper would be one, but I also thought they would take Wild Weasel's body and his sort of thing and use it as a Cobra pilot design, just like they did with the Hiss tank. The Hiss tank driver, they took that helmet and design and made a female for the gunner position. You know what I mean? And then a different colored one for the back or whatever. I don't know why we got different colored ones that were the same mold. So I thought they might do the same thing. Wild Weasel's going to be in red, but they're going to make a female version of Wild Weasel and put that in the gunner spot. You know what I mean?
What
Oh,
would
I
they
get
name
what
her?
you're saying. Yeah.
What would her
Yeah.
name be?
I don't know.
Well,
Wicked Weasel. Wicked Weasel. I don't know what.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
So Connor's saying that maybe they do some ground pieces and stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah, that
Uh,
would be cool to get
feeling
some
stuff. But
display
Jonathan's
pieces.
saying that's going to upset a lot of people.
Who cares? Upset them.
But I'm
a lot of people.
but I'm
and they still
thinking
hate 'em.
like, didn't that Sky Striker come with a whole bunch of ground pieces for that plane, like the refueling?
came with a
stuff?
Came with a
boatload
ground
of stuff.
crew,
Yeah, it came with crew. It came with so much stuff.
like a guy
yeah.
with a ladder, and
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think that would definitely be a tier, right? Like to have. I agree. I think that because it's like a
blast
plane.
effects are so popular
Yeah.
now. I can see that being.
Yeah, almost more.
tier.
Do you think they would be a tier, or you think they would be just included?
Why not? Why not be it? They need tiers, obviously, for an
Yeah.
incentive. Sometimes I don't think just an army builder figure is a good enough tier.
Because I'm just looking at the other. I'm looking at the other HasLabs and going, the Hiss tank came with the standard Hiss tank driver that we had as a kid. Then they
And
made a
then
female. They made a female version of the red driver, and then they gave us a black and. I guess we got a black and red version of the driver in a male format. Also, I'm looking at it right now down on the floor here because we just put it together. So there was three. There was basically 3 Hiss tank drivers in the thing. You know
And
what I
the
mean?
Cobra
And
Commander.
and they were stretch. Some of those 2 of those figures were stretch
Yeah.
goals. You know.
And you could pick
So,
a color. Wasn't that
if
a fan
you-
vote?
Yeah, there was a fan vote to pick the color, right? So you look at the Dragonfly, and the Dragonfly had the pilot Wild Bill, and then we got a parachuter, which is what was it, Airborne or whatever his name is, or
Then
whatever.
Halo,
And
or
then
whatever.
we got a female girl, just like this one had a female, which was in the blue suit, which you could pop the head off and put Scarlet's head on and have that version of Scarlet. So I'm kind of thinking, if that's their structure, you get a female and a male as stretch goals. They're going to do a female version of Wild Weasel, and they're going to give us a paratrooper just like they did for the GI Joes.
Well, you
And
could
it will just be a regular trooper like this guy,
The
but
Cobra
with
Trooper,
with a parachute. You know what I mean? Like they might paint him different and make him look a little different, so he's not a standard just repack. But he'll
You could
come with
do-
parachute accessories and maybe
you
even
could-
a parachute that works. You know.
You could do additional features on the vehicle itself, right? Like other play
Yeah,
features, like
and wasn't that
like
a tier on the
an
HISLAB?
ejector seat, like the canopy could pop off or whatever. You could do battle
Yeah.
damage pieces, or you could like
Yeah, that's
vehicles
a good
like that
idea,
have
like
a bunch of different rockets. You could have different types of attachments
Like
Yeah.
swap
underneath.
out a panel or two. Like if you have the Razor Crest, there's lots of
Right.
different panels.
Yeah,
But I mean,
'Cause they
a
did
bonus
that-
here could be 6
the escape
panels
pod.
that have battle damage and holes in it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, or whatever.
The-
Because
the-
didn't
the-
they do
the-
that with the HIS tank? The HIS tank had those extra guns on the side that was another
Yep.
tier, right?
That was a tier.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Was
they
it
could do the
battle
same
damage
thing.
panels, Eric, for the win. You're hired. Can you start Monday?
Yeah,
All right.
no problem.
If it only
Next
worked that
HASLAB
way.
Yeah, or like
Bear.
like
You're gonna
Connor
do
says,
Bear.
make a little trolley that has the missiles on it that can pull up and act like you're loading
Oh,
missiles on. You know,
I love that. First, I've even thought about that, like a battle damage panel tier. Like that's badass.
Right.
Well, it's similar to like what they did with the Razor Crest, right? Like they had the
Yeah,
escape
without
pod
the panel,
was-
you just see the insides, and that's
well that
happened in
and
the show, really.
the escape pod itself was
Yeah.
a tier that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
going to be included. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes figures aren't enough unless it's a brand new original figure like that. Oh, I can't wait.
Or-
Figure we need.
Or like a one-off color scheme that of a very popular figure that maybe was a mail away or something like that.
Like
That's the only way you're
translucent
going to get
Cobra
it.
Commander.
I do like what they did with that Dragonfly, where they did that Argentinian figure or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Destro with vac
Yeah.
metal face.
Yeah. Oh, that would be kind of cool. But then we found out last week you can't then paint eyes on them.
well, his eyes aren't painted on.
There's
Got
different
it.
ways. They can do tampo pad. There's ways to get that.
All right.
But I like Connor's idea of the little trolley for loading rocket. You could have
Yeah.
a trolley
Oh, yeah.
with rockets on it because that's something you often see in the when they roll up to load missiles on the plane.
Ground crew.
That would be
Mhm.
cool.
refueling hose.
But if it's a big plane, if it's one of those, like the Rattler's a big plane, 6-inch scale, it has to be. And then even that Jetfire Raven thing, whatever that one's called, that's big too, because it has like seats for multiple people. Like much like the Dragonfly, I guess it seats a couple people, right? Like at least 3 or 4 figures you can cram in there if you had to. But remember, they're scaled down a little bit for toy purposes. So, but damn, yeah.
Night
Big airplane coming your way.
But I think
Yeah.
with those types of things, like with these HASLABs getting bigger and bigger and bigger, especially with like air-based vehicles, Hasbro should start thinking about including like ceiling, like
Yeah,
Go-
I know I said
because
Fang earlier. How
realistically,
about a Fang 2-pack?
I think Hasbro should. So for collectors who are all into Star Wars, they should make collectors a full-scale Death Star to be able to store all your collection.
Only available at
For
a
GI Joe fans, you can get a full-scale flag to store your collection.
the other thing that like if you bring up that image where you had what people were thinking were tiers, if you think about it, the Strato Viper, this last figure,
Yes.
that guy was often seen in the later episodes flying fire bats. He was flying rattlers. He
everything,
was
right?
flying the Fang. They used him as a trooper, as like an airborne trooper a lot in the cartoon.
Uh-huh.
So I could see them saying tier 1 is a Cobra paratrooper. Tier 2 might maybe not be this guy, but it could be either it could be instead of ground crew, they might say like the gunner. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
and have him be the trooper that's the gunner in the back, but maybe make it a female, like I'm saying. And then they could put the Stratoviper in and just say, that's one of the Cobra pilots. We're never going to make a Raven because it's so big, but we wanted you to have the option of getting this figure. So we're throwing it in with the Rattler because we don't know how well he'd do as a standalone figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or because they know they're never going to make that vehicle.
A Raven, yeah.
Yeah, and so
This
then
is
why
your
would
chance
they
of getting it?
Yeah, why would they put a pilot out who's never going to have a vehicle?
Yeah, so this is your chance to get him you know,
Yeah.
if,
I
if
agree
you're
with you,
really that interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that could be throwing other people off by saying like, wait a minute, why would they give the Raven pilot with a Rattler? You know,
Right.
but
Right.
that could be
Without
their
us knowing
thinking.
any tiers or price, is anyone for sure getting it if it is a Rattler?
John.
Yes, me, absolutely. Yeah.
And to me, it's going to be all about price.
And it'll be a difficult buy, I'm sure, because I
Be
actually don't.
ginormous.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think I'll have a job within a week. So
I don't
Who
think it'd
didn't
be.
love like
it's
model
him.
airplanes. As
Wait a
kid,
minute,
right?
John.
Like,
Does this have anything to do with asking for 8 Jaws Lego sets?
no.
Okay, good.
But regardless, that's not happening.
Oh,
Yeah. So I will be able to get 0 Jaws sets because I don't think I'll have a job by the end of next week.
oh, sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry, John.
That sucks. Well, on that pleasant note, since you asked, Vern, I'll tell you
But I
my.
will still find a way to get the damn Rattler.
All right, Dan has his list.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. So, I mean, figures was an obvious one, right? I mean,
Yep.
I think that's it. We've already established that's a given. I kind of figured they'd go the way with the his tank, where, and this is more of a preference and also a tier hopeful. If they do it, I want a separate set of wings or an option to have the wings without the missile things on it. Because I don't know if you remember, but those things were a pain in the butt. I would
fall
always lose.
off.
They would always fall off, and they're all dropped down every time you turn the VTOL wings. You know, one would fall off after a while. So if they had an like
Yeah.
like what they did with the make the missiles an optional part. So make the wing right, like just a plain old wing, like they did with the base version of the his tank when they did that. And then they added those missile launchers on the side. So if they did just a base wing and then an additional tier unlock where hey, you can get the missile too. Yes, I know that'd probably make some people mad because it didn't come with the missiles, but I'd rather have it without it anyway.
I think that would help keep the price down, probably.
It
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
Or
And
if
then
it was
I
just
was gonna say
secure.
the panels, because you already mentioned that though,
Right.
because they did have the interchangeable panels with the
On the
yeah,
old one, the
image.
original, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So if it
Well,
is
this
the rat,
Rattler, the wings kind of go like this because it's got those turbine things, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like top vertical or whatever.
I see it being that vehicle just because
Yeah.
I know how popular it was in the 80s, and I know it was in the cartoons, and it's
I
on
think-
some comic covers. And
I think
So-
that's the most sought after Cobra vehicle, right? Like big vehicle. I think if you took a poll, that's the one that like I think almost everybody would say they want it.
the
Rattler.
Fang is one everyone had for sure. Everyone had
Oh,
the
yeah,
Fang, it was a
but-
cheaper, smaller one-man vehicle.
But that
Yeah.
trouble
Rattler
bubble was
the one we all wanted, right?
right. But you got a trouble bubble for in a pack. So you can definitely get a Fang in a pack, right?
Yeah.
That's like a small vehicle. They did the Vamp for basically kind of retail.
I'm
They
looking
could do-
forward to it.
And
I
now
like
the-
blue
and now the
plastic,
Stinger,
the blue
the Stinger
Cobra
Cobra.
plastic.
The
is-
Stinger.
Yeah.
So
fun.
what price points? Do you guys want to guess price,
I don't know
John?
if he's already got his guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be 400 or more. I just do. I feel like it's going to be around 400. I
Okay,
don't think
and-
it's going to be.
And this is if it's a Rattler. That's
Yeah, Rattler. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Eric? What do you think?
I would say 500.
All right, Dan.
Wow.
What was the Dragonfly again?
I think less
3?
than 3.
Yeah.
$299 maybe.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think
275.
275.
$299.
All right, Rick.
This one, if it's a big airplane and they've
Yeah.
already gone up to that $500 range, I think it'll be $399, and they'll have $100 tier B option that maybe, like Dan said, another set of wings with battle damage or no bomb
Missiles or
impact.
something. Yeah, yeah.
But I
You think they're gonna
that's a
screw around
new
with the-
level of pocket digging that they can do now is have $100 tier that's
Deluxe.
cool, but you don't have to get it.
All right,
A deluxe version. Yeah.
and
I think you're looking at $400 bottom line.
all right, and my guess is $1, and the actual retail price is
Oh,
Ding, 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 ding.
I don't know. I think knowing that I didn't realize. I just thought it was more, but knowing that the Dragonfly was 275, then I
Uh-huh.
could see 350.
yeah.
So
That's
maybe
my
it will
guess.
be more. Yeah, it'll be less than I think. Then maybe.
yeah.
they learned their lesson
looks-
after that Vengeance. And
I agree with. They
looks-
learned their list. Well, except for
looks-
with the Star Wars, right? Because
Yeah.
every one of them, the last few have just been $500.
Because it's Star Wars, they can do that.
That's true. But yeah, I think 350. It's
True.
their
Star
property.
Wars, there is a license
Ah.
fee involved. So
Yeah.
let's say 30% of that is them paying licensing fees.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they're going to make a $400 G.I. Joe HasLab, it better be pretty badass. Like it would have to be the best ever.
500 was probably a bit much, but I was looking at recency with
Yeah.
the
with the Star
Cantina
Wars and stuff. Yeah.
Deluxe. Yeah. So
Because
I
even
think,
the Transformers are cheap, right?
but when you look, but when you look at the Dragonfly being 275, that thing's not as robust as this what's it called, the Rattler. So
It's like a Rattler, but without wings, basically.
Kind of.
Like the two big parts.
yeah.
All right, let's move on from this. So you guys' favorite toy company, McFarlane, is running their own campaign now. They've made 114,000. They're 19%. They got 1,188 backers with 19 days to go. And
When
their
did you
big
take
thing,
this screen grab?
what?
When did you take this?
Yesterday.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's much higher now, but
Okay, well, yeah, I'm not going to go back and check right now. But
crazy,
as of last
man,
night, when I
for a
took this screen
$40
grab-
toy.
What?
This is for $20 and $40 toys.
Yeah, so the way they got it going is you can choose a $20 Black Manta Sea Saucer. You can pay $35 and get Aquaman and Black Manta with it. You can do a $30 Bat Multicraft. You can do a $45 Bat Multicraft with Batman and Robin. And then you have the option of doing the $90 version, which gives you the Sea Saucer, Black Manta, Aquaman, the Multicraft, Batman and Robin, an exclusive T-shirt, and then for
You
$10
forgot the
more.
$75 one.
Yep. What?
There's a
What?
$75 one, which is the 2 ships and all 4 figures.
And
Oh, okay. I forgot that
without
one.
the
I
T-shirt.
forgot that
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
So for $100, you could get all of the stuff except for you don't get a T-shirt, but you get an autographed art card.
I just think it's weird. Like, I wonder if he made, because these toys, I guarantee you, they're made and they're sitting in a warehouse right now because that's how Toddy Mac works. I wonder if he had a deal with Walmart or Target or whoever, and they backed out, and
They did.
because it makes no sense to make a crowd fund for a $20 toy that exists.
Because the current vehicles are all going on clearance at
I
Walmart and
understand that.
Target.
That's why I'm thinking.
So
wonder
I don't
why
think
too.
I think Walmart and Target said we don't want any more vehicles because the figures are selling, but the vehicles we keep having to put on clearance. So he said, okay, I will sell these vehicles only to the fans that really want these. So let's just do it online as a campaign. And the weird thing is that he wants $600,000 before he's going to release them.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I'm just like, really? Are you going to get that much before
You're gonna need a lot of people if they're only paying $20.
I think he
Yeah,
will
you're
get
going
it.
to need a lot
So
of people.
it's still 19% here, Rick. It's 117,000, 1,229. So it's 220.
And I'm
so
positive there's
40.
no limit of 5 either.
And only giving yourself 21 days.
I know it ends August 7th. That's
How would you?
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a $400. We're just talking about a $400 HasLab.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are on 2 months. So you got 21 days. You think you're gonna?
I mean,
get
those
$1,000.
other ships hit targets and stuff like, and like nobody was buying them.
No, that's what I mean. They're
Yeah,
not being
and
bought.
Bender's saying he's going to get the set at Ollie's for $299, which sounds right to me.
Well, the thing is that is this even going to come out if he doesn't hit that 600,000? Do you really?
Yeah, it's going
I
to
mean,
come
like-
out at Ross.
Well,
It's
if they're
free,
already
right?
produced, you got to
If
do
they're already
something.
Yeah, I'm
produced in the
guessing that
warehouse,
Yeah.
Those
Then-
are not digital renders because Todd Mac, he makes the toys.
Listen,
Like,
if this doesn't fund, this is exactly what's going to happen, in my opinion. In 20 years, there's going to be a documentary about some landfill in Arizona where there's a whole bunch of superpowered vehicles
Powered
buried on
vehicles,
top
yeah.
of buried on top of ET Atari cartridges.
And these
No.
These 2 particular vehicles would then be worth about $20,000 each because
Right.
nobody got them unless they dug up the land.
No.
Yeah.
Vern, it wouldn't get to that. before that, based on what I've seen from McFarlane, if it failed, you just take whatever's left in a warehouse, throw on some coating of glow in the dark paint, and
Gold.
then market them again. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to go to Comic-Con next week. I'm going to go to one of Todd McFarlane's signings. I'm going to show him a clip of this.
Okay.
Tell him Rick says hello, fellow Canuck.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so
But
nobody.
I mean, putting all the joking aside, I think that if you're a fan of superpowers, this is a brilliant way to go because you're not charging an arm and a leg. You could get both vehicles and 4 figures for $75.
Yeah.
If you go to the store, the vehicles are generally $20 to $25 each. The figures are 10 to 15 depending on where you go. So even if they're $10 each, you buy 4 figures at $40, 2 vehicles at $25 each, that's $50. That's a $90 set. If you even got both vehicles for $20 each, you're looking at a like around an $80 set, right?
Yeah.
So for $75, you're still saving $5.
But I will tell you this:
You know?
nothing from that McFarlane website is free shipping, no matter how much you buy. So
that's
it's
why
going to be $80.
So there will be shipping on top of it, but
most
yeah,
of
but
the-
still.
McFarlane toys that are called exclusive to McFarlane.com. That's why they're always available on Amazon Canada. So he can give us that free shipping kind of option, if that's the best way to put it, because every one of his exclusives he's ever done has been available on Amazon Canada at the same time. It's just, I don't know if that's because he's Canadian and he knows, but I mean, if I went through his website, I'm paying more shipping than like what an American.
I wanted the Jonah Hex that. Well, we'll show the picture, but with the shipping, I'm like, no, it's got to go on sale first. All right, all right. So nobody's in for those.
No, unfortunately not. But
I think
like I said,
cool
I do think it's a good idea for the fans of the series, but it's not something I'm gonna get. No.
I know it has a fan base. I know that it's a pretty popular toy line still.
All right, let's do this week's episode of the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. We'll quickly go through this because we got a lot of other stuff we're going to talk about. Tom Holland is going to be back for Spider-Man 4, and the draft is nearing completion.
All right.
And we'll start filming in 2025. It's like, all right, you guys excited for that news?
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I like Spider-Man movies.
All right, good.
I like big popcorn movies.
Although, is it going to be Spider-Man and well, he stays in New York, right? Like he's not going to go creeping on his friends in Boston. Right?
Who knows? Don't you remember me?
What would you like to see? Would like?
I think he gets a job at MIT as a janitor, and he solves all the math problems.
Gotcha.
I think if this movie is happening, he will announce it this weekend at San Diego Comic-Con.
All right.
There you go.
All right. And then here are the upcoming Marvel movies. Deadpool and Wolverine next week on the 26th. Captain America Brave New World in February. The Thunderbolts in May. The Fantastic Four in July. Blade in November. Avengers. The Kang Dynasty's wrong, right? Obviously.
They changed the name, I believe.
Yeah, that was supposed to be May of 2026. So got a lot of movies. I think I want to see every single one on that list for next year.
Did you get the dude to make this spreadsheet?
I screenshotted this off of Screen Rant or one of those websites.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
I have to see a lot more about the Thunderbolts before I would actually go to the theater to see that one.
If it's got Red Hulk in it, I'm in.
And the Avengers ones are depending on what they do. Secret Wars, I would definitely like to go see.
Oh yeah.
But I want to know what the other one is about. Like if it's Kang Dynasty, I have no interest in it. But
aren't they bringing the Russos back? Isn't that the latest rumor?
Yeah. So supposedly they're coming back to do both of those movies.
Okay. Well, then maybe that would get me to go. Yeah.
So I
was on the edge about Captain America until I saw one of the trailers, and then I was like, yeah, I think I'll go see this one. So. It does depend on who's in it and what's going on.
I read an article yesterday that said that they were that Robert Downey Jr. may be coming back to the MCU, but not as Iron Man. He was going to potentially the idea that they're suspecting is that he comes back as Tony Stark from an alternate universe, but then ends up, instead of becoming Iron Man, becoming Doctor Doom.
Oh, I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I have a theory that we're going to see Captain America actor, the original one,
Chris Evans.
Me too.
Chris Evans, in Deadpool as Flame On.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Oh, that would be
'Cause I
hilarious.
think we're
Oh,
going
it
to
would be,
see,
yeah.
let's say, 25 plus cameos that we didn't know were coming. Like Lady Deadpool. I'm going to go out on a edge here and say it's the Hawk Tua girl.
No.
Not
No,
his
dude,
wife, and
the
not
dude actually
Taylor
had a
Swift.
good
It'll be
theory
the
on
Hawk Tua meme girl.
the dude had a good theory on this on Twitter. He
Or it'll
thought
be
it
Ryan Reynolds.
he thought it would be Caitlin Olsen, Rob McElhenney's wife,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
plays D on It's Always Sunny.
As
Yeah.
long as Ed Norton Hulk makes an appearance, man, I'll be
That would be
so
pretty
happy.
cool. So I have some news. I'm going to Comic-Con next week, and then
Woo!
they had announced a bunch of panels, and then sometime earlier in the week, San Diego Comic-Con tweeted out a thing that said surprise panel on Thursday at 6:00 or whatever in Hall H. It's going to be the Deadpool Wolverine Celebration of Life. The two actors and the director are supposed to be there. There's no details about the panel other than that. Click this button to submit your request to
DNA.
get in there. Randomly selected. I was randomly selected to be able to go to that panel.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Nice.
I highly suspect that it's going to be a screening.
Yeah.
If you wear a Canada t-shirt, man, Ryan Reynolds will point you out and he'll call you up on stage, I bet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do Rare Canada t-shirt. Go buy one.
Well,
if you don't
that
have
and
one.
like Mint Mobile, the aviation gin, and Wrexham AFC.
Should I
Yeah,
bring
wear
all
all
those?
those things.
Should I bring
Yeah,
all
get-
those things?
Yeah,
Yeah.
get a whole shirt with all things on it. Yeah.
Be like a NASCAR driver.
Should I like make a T-shirt with all the logos on it?
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you right now that if I were going, I would absolutely do that, and I would make sure that he saw me. I would walk right in front of the stage, being like, "Look at my shirt," you know.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's probably the best panel to be at for this convention. And
that'd be cool.
Vern, just a heads up, I bet you there's swearing.
Oh, probably. I'm guessing probably, but
In the one clip on the trailer where we see Lady Deadpool, you can see in the background there are a whole bunch of other Deadpools.
Oh yeah. All
So I'm curious to see like how crazy they get with like multiverse Deadpools.
Taylor
Well, I
Swift
heard-
is playing. Taylor Swift is Dazzler.
Well,
think
that's
I,
I'm glad you brought that up because
she
when
posted a picture of of issue number 1 of the comic book on her
Yeah, there's
Twitter
little
Oh,
hints.
she
or
did?
on her social media. I don't
'Cause,
remember if it's Twitter or not.
when the Disney Store launched Deadpool and Wolverine merch early, for some odd reason they also had a couple Dazzler T-shirts, and that's just
interesting.
like, yeah. So they like, I don't think they would just conveniently like plug some like B-list X-Men character at the same time they're dropping Deadpool and Wolverine merch if that character wasn't showing up in the movie and it isn't Taylor Swift. So
Yeah, I have a feeling that. I have a feeling. I
That's
mean,
why-
it could just be she likes that comic, but or someone was joking around. I don't know.
You
But
can
No,
tell
she's-
by
I
the
do-
figure
they're-
of the woman
they're
that's
friends.
not Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift has the body of like a 9-year-old girl. That was a woman, which is much like Ryan Reynolds' wife. She's has a figure of a woman.
But I think that Sonny's idea is hilarious. If it was Melissa McCarthy, that would be.
Rick, do you know how
what
I
if they're
always-
all Ryan Reynolds'
hold on,
face?
hold on. Rick,
Yeah,
do you know
right.
how I'm always telling you just canceled yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right,
I'll come back next week.
I'm not even going to say it this time.
There's a couple of cryptic
Yeah.
tweets from Ryan Reynolds too, where one
Yeah.
was a picture
Yeah.
of all those Deadpool peoples. One of them
Yeah.
being a cowboy one, and he's like, "All right, all right, all right."
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
That's a
Yep.
hint
Yep.
that Matthew Mahogany is the cowboy.
Yep. Matthew
I get it.
McConaughey. Yep. Yep.
But I'm
Yeah,
really
he's gonna
looking forward
do-
to it. I'm pumped for it.
Because there's the other thing too is we all know from seeing his ads and other things that he does outside of the Marvel universe that he's a hilarious guy, and a lot of people in the industry love Ryan Reynolds. And if they have their one chance to work with him for one scene, it's going to be this Deadpool movie.
Absolutely.
So I think you're right. You're going to see Matthew McConaughey. You're going to see like anyone who's just yeah, as one quick thing, and I do
And we
expect there
won't
to
be
be
upset like a Jack Black, kind of cameo in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like that.
yeah
This differently. This is more of a fun
yeah
thing, multiversal thing. So it's like we get it. Like let's have fun with it.
yeah. And I think I'm going on Saturday because there's the guys that do Plasticon down here. This is a really cool idea. We were talking about this a couple months ago. This guy Hollywood John and I, who runs it, and his friend Chase, and they were like, what are you? And I told him my idea. I was like, you got to get like a used Kmart or a warehouse or something that's been shut down. And John went, what about a movie theater? Do you think a movie theater would allow us to go into the lobby? And I said, well, it has to depend on the movie. And he goes, I was thinking Wolverine, Deadpool. And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So we found one of those Cineplex things down in a little bit south of where I am that has like 12 theaters. And they have that huge open area when you walk in to get popcorn and stuff. And he managed to put like 50 vendor tables in there and down the halls.
Oh,
and
wow.
he's doing the toy show and comic show inside the movie theater. And so I'm like, this is a brilliant idea. So I'm going to go look at toys, look at comics, buy a ticket to the movie, go see the movie, then come back out and look at more toys and comics, and then go, come back to just in time to be on the show next Saturday.
So you know,
or are we not doing it?
I'll be at Comic-Con.
Yeah, we're not doing it next week. Okay, then I don't have to rush back. Yeah, we won't do it next week.
What day is the panel, Vern?
The regular panel is on Saturday, but the one that I got selected to go to is Thursday.
Yeah, because I'm seeing the movie on Thursday. I bet you anything they're screening it for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm imagining. And I mean,
I will go see this in the theater too, Vern.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I haven't been in Hall H since probably because I won't wait in that line, honestly. And I remember when Iron Man, when they first previewed the Iron Man that year, the year before Iron Man came out.
Yeah,
it was like
you were there for that.
I was. You get in line like it was like we got in line like a half hour before they opened, and we still were in there.
For
and
like
I remember
8 hours,
when they showed that. Oh my gosh! When they showed the clip that they had at Comic-Con the first time, I was floored. It was just incredible. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
You were there for the birth of the MCU.
Panel.
Yeah.
The Mando panel at Celebration is the only panel I've ever been to that was, big.
Were people freaking out like Vern?
Cool
yeah. Oh my gosh.
The audience just like going nuts. Yeah.
And then Robert Downey Jr. was like, you know what? Let's show that again. Or it was him or the guy who plays Happy. One of them was like, oh, you know what? Let's just roll that again or whatever. And then they played it a second time, and the second time, the first time you're just amazed, and then the second time you can kind of take it in.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about that whole panel to me was, I think it was the first time I realized if you go to these big panels, they just have like money for stuff. Because I remember walking in the door and they just handed you this big, gigantic
stuff,
shopping bag full of like T-shirts and like
posters, everything. Yeah,
and stuff like that. It was just nuts. I was like, oh.
And hang on to that poster because like the one I got at Celebration for one of the Star Wars panels, they gave away free posters. I ended up selling it for like $150. Like just a little while ago, because I was like, I'm not going to hang this up, and I saw it was going for a lot, so I was like, I should sell that. I didn't know it was going for that.
I have a poster too with like a bunch of posters that I've collected over years from Comic-Con, going to different stuff. One time.
But I remember that with The Force Awakens when I think it was the 2015 in Anaheim Star Wars Celebration, and I got picked to go to that and watch the trailer or something. Was it? And people next to me broke down in tears. They were crying. They were so excited and everything. And it was amazing emotional. Seeing the crowd. Like they were just, it was absolutely nuts. And they did the same thing. Let's watch that again.
I remember the Emperor did that. He's like, let's roll that clip again.
That was one of the best. I was in the room for that. Yeah.
You were there at that one? Yeah.
All right. So they did that lottery system to see if you can get in to whatever these booths, that San Diego Comic-Con thing. The way it worked is like you get 12 credits for every day you had a ticket, Then there was like a list of like 10 different things that you could sign up for. You can dump all your credits on like one thing, right? And then maybe you got randomly selected or you didn't. So the thing is, like with like the Hasbro booth, they had like a 10 to 10:30, they had 11:30 to 12:30, they had like 12:30 to 1:30
cool.
slots, and then Mattel had some slots, and then some of the other vendors had slots, and then there were slots for like the signing for the cast of The Rookie, the signing for the cast of Tracker, the signing for the cast of this, Ronda Rousey signing, that whole thing. So it was really like on a everyday situation. You had to decide, do I dump all of my credits into this?
Yeah, or spread them out.
Yeah, or spread them out. So even if I would have like said, say, put 4 for the 10:30 Hasbro and then 4 for the 12:30, that's only giving me 4 shots to potentially get that time slot. Well, it didn't work out, right? So I basically did not get anything for the 4 days.
Was all that gambling you did?
Yeah, except I got the signing for the Tracker TV show.
There's a Tractor TV show?
The Tracker, the one with Justin Hartley.
Yeah.
And,
okay, yeah. I think they're filming that here like right now.
Yeah.
Oliver Green Lantern, right?
Yeah, so I'm guaranteed to like get in there and get a poster that's signed by the entire cast. That'll be
that you have to pay for though.
No, that is included. That's all.
Yeah,
free.
really. I know Emily Swallow.
Autographs for giving you autographs for free with that.
Emily Swallow plays the armor. She's signing at I think the EFX booth, like a helmet prop maker.
Yeah, that will be like she'll be like charging probably for her own signature, and that'll be separate.
No, these are free. I think.
Oh, okay.
Some of these sponsored. So, but I think they're just starting to get revealed to not, overwhelm.
So what happens is, so what happens is with some of these other booths, what they do is they have like a separate line. You go up, you stand in this line. They have a wheel, you spin it. If it hits the green one, they give you the wristband. If you don't get the green one, you don't get the wristband, or
that sounds
the first 100 people in line or something like that. So you got to get up early and go stand on the line. So
because I know Diamond Select and Gentle Giant, they have like one day they got a couple of wrestlers because they make little mini mate boot Lego figures, and then they got the Dark Off-World Jawa actress lady.
Okay,
signing jumbo Jawas for free if get line, and
I'll probably go around and try to like see if I can squeeze into some of these other ones, since I'm not going to Hasbro or whatever or any of the other major retailers. But usually what happens is by the end of the day, after they finish everybody who won the lottery, it kind of opens up. So there is a chance you could get in there. If there's any of the exclusives left for the day, you could pick those up. But luckily I know a few people who will probably help me out because they got in line. They're not interested in like everything. So I know that there's some people that wanted.
You're just doing a one day, right, Vern?
Do
all 4 days.
Oh wow, okay.
So Vern, I gotta ask, and anybody here, like, how far back do you go with going to conventions? Like, were you alive to have gone, even back into like 2015? Going to conventions back before 2015 when you just had to wait in line. Like, do you prefer the waiting in line, or do you prefer the new stuff that they're doing?
I don't know about this far back.
Wait in line on your iPhone.
That far back.
Vern and I go back. I go back even further because I went to the 1979 Star Trek convention with my mom.
Wow,
that was my first convention. Was the 1979 Star Trek.
Wow.
Convention. So. In 2015, and the reason I ask is because during Star Wars Celebration 2015 in Anaheim, that was an experience on its own, because we met my friend Chris Salton from Collector's Hut YouTube channel on Star Wars Black Series there. And I brought two of my friends came with me from Seattle, Derek and Daryl. And then we met up with in line.
Was it Derek, Daryl, and his other brother, Daryl?
And his brother, Larry?
Daryl. Yeah. And we were in line, and while we were in line, we met. There was 2 people next to us that started talking. This girl from Denmark, who was in the 501st stuff over in Denmark, and then a guy named L.A. Jedi Nick, I think his name was L.A. Jedi Nick, and we actually ended up hanging out with these people the whole show, every single day. And what we did is Chris and his wife, these two people we met in line, my two friends and myself, we all took turns where we were like, okay, we want to go to the Clone Wars panel. So I got there like, 9 o'clock in the morning. I lined up in the panel. So I was like 5 people back. And then Daryl went in the panel for this, like the Battlefront panel or whatever. And then another person went to another panel. And what we did is 3 or 4 of us were free to walk the place. So then those 3 or 4 would go, okay, now you sat there for an hour. I'm going to take your spot. And I got up and went and toured the whole place for a few hours, got lunch, and we were bringing them food, and we just traded off. And when the panels happened, we all got to go see every panel we wanted to see the whole day. And not only that, we met hundreds of new people, not hundreds, but tens of new people in line.
So
some of which are still our friends to this day.
So here's the thing with John's
line, I got to talk with them,
So here's what happened at John's thing. So in the panel they say like, oh, to the first 100 people you're going to get this like exclusive swag bag. So somebody who was like, he went down and he counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I'm like 96. So he was sure he was going to get the exclusive swag bag. But what he didn't realize was like,
was that there were 6 people in our group
show up and make him 101. So he sat there and waited 7 hours, just counting his like hopes that he was getting this exclusive bag, and then he was
realistically probably person 200, because I'll tell you, the first 50 or so people,
they
all had groups of 6 or 7 people. Because we asked ahead of time. We were asking ahead of time to these people. We got a group that we're trading off on, and they went, well, so do we. And they were like, so do we. So do we. You're crazy if you're going to sit in line for 6 hours by yourself,
So here's the thing. I really do kind of like the method that they have now. And what it really does is it just prevents you from having to wait in line. Because the Hasbro booth used to be like, you would get in the line, you would be all the way down on like some sort of a wall. You'd be waiting there all day. You'd get all the way up to the front, and they'd be like, "Oh, we sold out of those exclusives like 2 hours ago." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
why didn't you tell anybody? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, even after you've already committed yourself to 4 hours in line, so if you got an early time slot, you're pretty much guaranteed that they're not going to be selling out by the time.
Yeah, I think the merch is one thing, but like when I've gone to recent
for panels, it's all line. Yeah.
When I've gone to the recent ones where they auction off the panels, I end up like you, where I get no panels the whole weekend, and then I'm like, well, why did I even come here?
Yeah, the thing is like,
I can't go to any panel. Why did I come here for 4 days? I should have just come for one day, bought the merch, and left.
Yeah, I think what they did at Hall H with the one that I won that one entry into is the reason why they're doing that one differently is because it was last minute. It was just announced. It's something different than that's normally done. Because usually if you get into Hall H, most people will just stay there all day because those are the coolest panels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But most of those people camped out overnight.
Yeah.
So they gave up their entire day before to get in there.
That's true. Also, when we went to that's true. Also,
Yeah.
when we went to Anaheim, we did have to sleep in that thing overnight. Yeah.
That experience kind of stinks. Nobody should have to go
It would
through
have to
that.
be pretty
Just to-
special for me to wait overnight.
Yeah, I'm kind of over all of that at my age. So I mean, I am wearing glasses, and
this was 10 years ago. This was 10 years ago.
29 years. I'm getting old.
All right, so let's move on. So these are the toys that are being peddled to this week. This first section of stuff we may have talked about already, but I mixed them in. These are the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, just to kind of like recap some of the stuff. I got to do a caveat though. I did not add any Super 7 stuff into the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives because honestly, almost everything that they announced said San Diego Comic-Con debut. So to me, I didn't consider that kind of exclusive. So yeah, so the way I see it is these things that you see should be exclusives, but we'll see what happens in the end, right? Okay.
We also have a Walmart Collector Con this week.
Yes, I think we got some of those pictures jumped in. This is the Ken's house, I guess, from Barbie.
Sweet.
Oh, sorry. I know we're in a bit of a segment, but if you haven't seen on Twitter, the band GWAR did a cover of "I'm Just Ken."
Okay,
It's,
that's,
um,
that's
it's
pretty
worth a
funny.
watch.
All right. So I don't know. I didn't watch the movie, but is this realistic?
With
Does-
the
You haven't
doors,
watched
yeah.
the Barbie
I
movie,
think this
Vern?
is super tiny too. I think this is like a micro house.
It was like the
He-
biggest movie of like.
He put the saloon doors in, so I remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think this is actually shrunk down too. I don't know if this is full size. I believe this is like one of those things you could put on a shelf.
Oh,
Come with
okay.
a mini Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, so
Is
I think it's
is it big enough?
yeah, I think it's to appeal to people who watch the movie who aren't really like toy collectors, right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's Mattel. You got the Monster High. This looks like the convention one because there looks like there's a bag and some collectibles and stuff like
Lanyard.
that.
Yeah,
Cool
that's
stuff.
Well, I
pretty
like
cool.
the idea of doing those kind of convention exclusives
Yeah, I do
where
too.
they are exclusive to conventions and they have cool accessories to make it look like it.
I felt bad. They sent me some Monster High stuff, and I gave it down to the downstairs neighbor's daughter
I would
Oh,
have done the same thing.
I would have.
because I was like, why are you sending me this? It doesn't fit for my channel. Send me He-Man. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wish they
hello,
would. Just,
Mattel. Like,
they won't even send me an email.
Oppenheimer playset, yeah.
All right, and then I guess these are Comic-Con exclusives. These two Masters of the Universe figures.
oh, that's who they were before he became Too Bad. They got
Yeah,
they got fused
Too Bad,
together by
that's-
Skeletor's magic. It became Too Bad.
So this will be something that'll be like probably hard to get because you got
Yeah,
it's the same as Hasbro. You got to get the little lottery to get in the booth or whatever.
Oh,
Right.
even the retail Motu stuff is sometimes hard to get. So
Yeah.
it's a toy line. Like they're not, I don't think they overproduce it like we think they do with
Right.
Star Wars stuff. Like,
Right.
I know you might see some of this in your Ollie's and dollar stores, but you don't see lots of it though, do you?
No. All right. So let's say hi to Gap, Mr. B. You got Sunny in here, Cedar stuff. I think I just kind of like missed it because we were having like a lot of conversation. Storyteller 0111.
yeah. There's a
Nope,
couple.
Rodriguez.
I got them all up there.
All right, Gary's Grills. Yeah, okay. And then this thing, this is not a black and white picture. This is actually in black and white.
Bootlegos.
Classic.
I don't think is this Lego or is this
Mego
like-
block.
I
fake-
no, I think
fake
it's probably their mega blocks. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. Oh, yeah. So I got my
Yeah.
Mega Box stream that I'm creating.
Yeah, yeah.
Mega blockheads.
All right. So, and then
Oh, Jimmy Buffett.
I don't get this, but I'm sure Dino will get
He
it.
got in Jurassic World. I think the first movie when the dinosaurs ran crazy. There was a Jimmy Buffett's restaurant,
Yeah,
and he was actually at it.
Margaritaville.
Yeah, Margaritaville. And he was
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
yeah.
restaurant, and he did a cameo in the film, getting killed by those pterodactyl things.
oh, interesting. Okay. So this is
It's a
so
weird
yeah.
exclusive.
The thing is though, hasn't every Mattel Jurassic Park thing that was a Comic-Con exclusive been available later on their website?
Yeah, because they don't sell out.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
because only Dino and I buy Jurassic Park stuff. So
yeah. Gap, you're
Ooh,
showing
yeah.
us.
But you'll also get Jimmy Buffett fans going after that.
yeah, true.
But
you're right.
but I want to point out Gap is saying you're showing us terrible exclusives. Yes,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, but these are pretty much the exclusives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
so
I
I
just-
Put ice cubes in the chat if it's not hot.
All right. Must be slow.
I should
time.
get one of the new Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Those toys were cool when I was a kid.
I like
this
this
one's-
because he's got a Fonzie jacket and it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I like this
Mhm.
particular one. In fact, yeah.
Is
So
that
is it-
barbecue?
all right. And then WrestleMania.
Another
What?
not-
Yeah.
Who is this?
Not.
Is that
Shawn
Shawn
Michaels.
Michaels?
Is it?
I
Yeah,
think so.
I think that's right.
That was for the shark.
All right. All right. So I don't see a lot of jumping up for joy, a lot of knots. They got this little Hot Wheels.
Hey, there's your
This is
Raven.
cool. I've seen a video of this. This looks pretty cool. But
Yeah.
they're expensive, man.
Yeah, I
They're
mean, I
just
can't
like a
believe
little
it for like a little
die-cast
Hot
vehicle.
Wheel. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Are they cardboard figurines or are they little diecast figures behind the?
No, those
I don't
that's
know.
probably
This-
cardboard.
Yeah.
Does Hot Wheels make die-cast figures or do they make plastic figures? I know that
I
Jada
think-
makes die-cast figures.
I
Oh,
think
that's Jada that does those. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is Mattel.
I
Yeah.
think that this upper piece is just decoration, cardboard decoration.
Oh, you think the ship's below it? Okay.
No, the ship is in the box. I watched it.
Yeah, but below
and
the-
and it's chrome. It's not black like the photo shows it.
But you don't see the ship until you open the box. Is what I'm saying.
No, it's there. It's just a poor angle of a photo for their marketing purposes.
Okay. Probably computer, and then
Stewie.
these are like crazy, man. Like, I don't know how these are exclusives. Are you really not ever going to release a plush of the Dragon Slayer dude or the dragon?
Oh, the dragon. Look
Oh,
at
wow.
that. Yeah.
Now, John, was this a clue on your Jeopardy last week?
No, we didn't. It wasn't Dragon Slayer the game. It was Dragon Slayer the movie.
Oh, I was thinking that was Puff the Magic
Sure,
Dragon.
that's his name.
Jonathan's in. We finally got one.
All right. And then
Oh, these are
Who do you follow
Yeah.
on Twitter, Vern?
yeah.
Oh,
These are
exclusives.
every single person in the chat is buying these, Bird.
What is that? Testicle kitty. Tentacle kitty.
this is Lumpia with a vengeance.
nice.
I think
Vern's
these guys
trying
made
to
like a fan
attract a
film.
different demographic.
I'm just showing you like.
He's being thorough. He's showing everything. Come on.
So what I did was I went to the Comic-Con exclusives portal web portion of their website, and I just started going through some of the vendors and stuff who were going to have retail, just so you guys can get an idea of the different kind of things that people think would be like a cool exclusive, right?
I
Because
don't know who this is.
this thing, I think they made a fan film or they made a movie. It was called Lumpia with a Vengeance or something like that. And it was like some sort of a comedy martial arts thing. But anyways, the Savage Sword of Conan #1 exclusive foil cover, right? So if you're in collecting comics, they're gonna have one of those. You got this total
Comics at
recall
Comic-Con?
from Titan. Yeah, imagine that. Titan Books. It's gonna come with that total recall thumb drive,
Okay.
right? If you buy it.
Wow.
You got Artist Alley here. So there's like an area just exclusive to like artists assigning their stuff, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's
I do
really
enjoy the Artist Alley at conventions. I
Yeah.
always look for one or two guys to meet
you
up
know,
and get an autograph from.
and that's kind of like the thing, right? Like, I think going to conventions is more about just going to the big vendors or Hasbro or whatever, or even those small retailers, but going around and seeing the guys that are creating works and stuff like that.
It must be Bollywood.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that Lumpia thing, it's
Mexican wrestlers.
no, it's
Sure.
no, it's
Lucha
Filipino,
Libre.
like Filipino. I
Yeah.
think. Okay, and then this is the classic Batman pop art animation cell artist series. This was one of those you had to actually be able to get selected to go in the UCC distributing. So this is pop art. It says animation cell type. They have multiple kinds that you can get, right? These are the exclusive ones. If you're into collecting that type of stuff.
Cool stuff. I like it.
Yeah. So then more of these. This is a little pet shop green dragon with virtual code.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had like a game. Why do you need a card?
I didn't know Lil's Pet Shop.
There's a card game and a virtual game.
Oh, I did not know that. Is it more popular than Pokemon?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. And then of course you got
marshmallows.
yeah, the
Squishmallows, whatever.
the Squishmallows. Oh my gosh, dude. This is one of those weird things where like I could not believe the first time I saw their booth how popular it was to go in there.
Oh
Oh yeah,
Big
it's
deal.
insane,
Like
right?
Funko Pops, but plush.
Yeah.
So they got this company. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Rick doing his badges or whatever. These guys every year they do patches that you can get to celebrate different achievements that you've earned
That's cool.
at
It's like Boy
Comic-Con.
Scout style.
Yeah, so like the Con Rangers, they go your 5-year patch, your attendee patch, your volunteer patch, you got your stood in line all night patch, you got your obtain exclusive patch.
It's
So
a
they
pretty
do-
good little niche group. I like
Yeah,
it.
they do new patches for every year, so it's kind of cool.
Is this a club that does this? Because I know for Star Wars Celebration, every time the club in Seattle that I was part of, they did these kind of patches, and what
A
they've
lot
been
of
doing
people in
is
the
they were doing
501st do it.
pie wedges, and
Okay.
if you've been to every Star Wars Celebration, your pie wedges will eventually complete a circle.
Oh, that's
And
kind
it's
of
pretty-
cool.
I have
it's
a
pretty
box
interesting.
full of those.
Yeah, and they have
River patches.
they had a whole bunch of little round ones and all these other things, but it's really cool how some of them connect together through the years. So if you're going every year, you end up with this thing that you've built out of your patches.
Cedar Stuff says, Eagle Scout? No, sir. I waited 4 hours in line to buy some toys.
Your patience badge.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So, anyways, this is the Hasbro Darth Maul with speeder. Is
Where he
everybody
sits really
excited
weird
for
on the
this?
speeder.
I need to get this. I need to
I
get
want
this.
it. I would think it's
All
cool.
right,
I like
so-
the box, but
I hope they will have.
pre-order next week at GameStop here.
All right. So,
I hope they will have them on Pulse.
all right. So
I just wish that he was sitting on the speeder right in the box. He looks really weird.
Yeah.
Like if you're driving, like if you're driving that way.
That's what, yeah.
He's braking hard, is what it is.
Yeah, he is. He's slamming on the brakes.
He's about to go flying over the handlebars.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
All right, and then the Cobra dude.
Finally.
Yeah.
I want someone
Finally.
to buy this. I want someone to buy this who only wants the Cobra Commander, so that
Uh-huh.
I can have the snake.
Okay. Well,
We'll split
That's
it.
all I want.
the problem
And
is,
I'm
if I-
willing to split it. I'm willing to split it. You know, I'll
the
pay
problem is,
50-50
if I'm
just for the
able to
snake.
get this, I'm keeping the whole thing.
I just want the two hands with the pointy fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, just the hands. Yeah.
Just the hands. It's only one hand with the pointy finger, by the
Okay,
way.
I'll just take the one hand.
Yeah. Okay. And then Transformers,
You don't even need this set. I don't know why it's even out.
because they had to do something for their line.
I guess
Or
so.
they needed an exclusive. They said, "Hey, what can you think of?" And they said, "Well, why don't we just make a cool box and sell these?"
And
All right.
repaint the figures we've already made. And
Yeah. And then there you go, Death's Head.
yeah, this is cool.
What's
like
this
this
character
box.
from? I'm unfamiliar
But
with the character.
He was originally in the Marvel UK Transformers as a bounty hunter. So Marvel
In the
UK
future.
invented him. Marvel UK
Oh, okay.
invented Death's Head. He was not an American hero. He was a Transformer villain that was a bounty hunter. But
So-
then when he came over to the United States, they just made him
Okay. So I know
regular
John
MCU
and,
bounty hunter. Yeah.
so I know John and Dan both are interested in this figure.
Oh, yeah.
And he died when they made Death's Head 2, and then that one died and they made Death's Head 3. So
All right. Moving on.
But I did get the press release for the stuff, and I think it
Not
listed
moving on.
that as a debut, and that the figure will be out in stores later this year.
Did they?
So this is not a Comic-Con
Let me read that again.
because I just got the press release kit, and I was like, why am I getting the same pictures that we already knew were out? You know, I was upset that I didn't get new pictures.
I didn't read that in the reveals, but we'll see. Okay, so anyways,
Well, yeah, I was shocked. Yeah.
NECA convention exclusives. I think we talked about these before. Nobody was really that thrilled, right? Yeah.
I wish I could get the whole Sinclair family, but they've only done Earl and the baby. So like I have no intention of just buying.
Oh, they're coming.
Two.
You know they're coming. There's only two other characters. The mom.
At
and
least three.
uncle.
The other two
the
are
mom that, the daughter
other-
and the son. Yeah.
the other two are New York Comic Con exclusives.
Yeah, watch. Yeah.
Yes, here it is, Vern. It says first to market. First to market. Marvel Legends series Death's Head will make its debut at Comic-Con in the Hasbro
interesting.
Pulse Toy Store booth. And it says attendees will request a spot to purchase this figure, but afterwards, limited quantities will be available on HasbroPulse.com while supplies last, and then later in the year when it comes out as a full release.
Oh,
Does it say that for Maul as
So-
well?
okay. So no
For
pressure
Maul,
for that one then.
Maul is listed as a convention exclusive.
Yeah.
With Speeder, yeah.
Yeah, and the Cobra guy is too.
Yep, those are they say convention exclusive,
Yeah.
not first to market. The only first to market is this Death's Head.
So that is a glow in the dark Dracula.
Ooh,
And
Nosferatu.
that's why Alf is looking at him like that, waiting
With
for
a big
him to
bong
glow
in
in the
his
dark.
Alf with a giant bong in his hand.
I need a poster tube like this though.
Oh, that's a poster tube. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have
Come
to
on,
get a
John,
nice
you're gonna
poster
get
tube
canceled.
for my
Right.
cast sign poster that I'm gonna get next week. All right. And
Next
then do we need another? Is that Flash Gordon?
I think it is. Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Ooh, is that from the movie? Because I've actually never seen the movie. That little alien.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't-
that's the only time you ever saw Flash was the Flash movie. Because I
What?
don't think there was a sequel or a TV series.
I don't remember that little
Oh,
alien in the Flash. No, so I don't know
Oh.
what.
I don't
that is.
either. It looks very Scorpion spider.
It's like a whole like log situation. It was in the other pictures. So,
Another Predator.
yeah,
Yep.
that's
As long as
the
it comes with a football.
The Predator
Yeah,
from Prey,
yeah.
right? Prey.
I think
is that
so.
from Prey?
I
Is
think
that the
so.
one from Prey? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, anyways, you guys.
He was
jumping
in a
for joy?
tree. Okay, he was in a tree in the movie. Okay, all right. yeah.
Anybody chomping at the bit for any of these convention exclusives? Because NECA was not one of the ones to select, by the way.
No.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, so that's going to be a free for all over there. Todd McFarlane's going to be there giving away his Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman before they get their tans. And
what I saw this week on Facebook too is that this Superpowers 3-pack that is a convention exclusive, you can currently buy it right now on AliExpress. So that's weird.
That's great.
No, yeah.
Well,
Well,
people
you know,
have already got it. Like they've already ordered it and received it, and it's
yeah.
a legit
So that so
McFarlane
a few years before COVID or whatever, they had a Tron in a VHS type box, and I got that from Newberry Comics before Comic-Con.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just weird how stuff has. Okay, so I don't know what this is from. I just thought I'd throw the picture.
fantastic.
What are these?
I don't know, play school.
I don't know.
Price people, itty bitties.
All right. They're tiny.
Batman.
All right, we'll see. I don't know what they are. John, do you know what these are?
No, not at all. No
You
clue.
just want them all, don't you?
No, I don't want any of them.
Okay. Dan wants them. That's why he's.
This must be one of those pictures Connor put in there.
Yeah.
Rick wants this, by the way. He has already messaged me multiple times. I said, yeah, let me go check it out. And he says, no, really, can you run by and grab one for me? And I said, yeah, definitely. If I get an opportunity, I'm definitely going to make this a stop on my way. The first day. He goes, no, before your first day. Can you just go over there? Just find out where their booth is supposed to be and just wait in line now.
Right.
So keepsake are there like Christmas ornaments, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is
It's
this
a little
like a metal
3D figure that's about this size.
Yeah, is it like a metal
No,
backdrop?
I'm pretty sure it's a paper card with a plastic bubble and figure.
You really
There's a
think
Vader
so?
one that they announced as part of this year's lineup, and I think they should be hitting stores any day now. Whenever
It's on their website as coming soon.
Yeah.
See, they don't. The reason I ask is because they don't usually make ornaments that are made out of paper. Their ornaments are usually plastic. So I was wondering if it was a plastic card back with a plastic figure attached to it on a bubble.
It could be. It could be a piece of Sintra or
Yeah.
PVC, but I don't know. I'm hoping to see it in person, and I just love Kenner Star Wars. And
Yeah, if they're making more of them that
versions.
actually go to the stores, I'll go check them out at the store. But
They have a Vader one of these too, I think. I went
Yeah,
to
that
the
was the
local.
first one they revealed as part of their
Yeah.
Christmas keepsakes for the year.
Yeah.
And the trash compactor that people are already getting.
oh wow, so I have to go soon, is what you're saying? They're already at stores.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably there. But you know what, John? They're not going to have them for you because remember when she tried to hold
They
something
sell
for you
out, I
before?
know.
Yeah.
You guys have Christmas in
Yeah.
Florida?
It happens.
Yeah. So this is an Optimus Prime. This is not a convention exclusive anymore. We're done with the convention exclusive.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So this was revealed. This is Optimus Prime, obviously, with his little station or whatever. What is that little 6-wheel gun thing?
It's simply just called Roller. Yeah.
Roller, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm liking this because I know this is based off the cartoon, like the animation.
It goes back to the first toy.
The blue windows, but it's a little bit bigger scale, so they're not just repainting that vintage toy. This is their masterpiece, whatever they call this large.
The vintage
Nice.
toy didn't have this much articulation.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like the toy photography too. Like it's like right out of the cartoons, but
Yeah, this actually does look really good.
Yeah.
How big is this thing? Does anybody know?
well,
It's
if the
probably
vintage
only
toy
6
was
or
this
8
big,
inches.
It's probably
Everybody show, like with your hands, how big you think it is. Like Rick.
He's probably a 6 to 8 inch figure when he's transformed into robot. So he's
It
not.
depends on what class, right?
Yeah.
What do they call it?
cool.
Masterpiece
I like it.
class?
No,
or
the masterpiece ones are the really expensive. They're like $150. I don't think
I'm
this
pretty
is that
sure
much,
this is
right?
$100.
It's a commander class, is what it says.
Commander class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they already made Bumblebee in that same style.
$89.99.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
89, they're saying 89. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's good.
Wow.
This looks like it might be the best DC multiverse figure he's made yet. Soft goods, actual guns. This comes with guns.
Oh, this is cool. No, this
And
is really cool. This is the one you were talking about, Vern, right?
Yeah, the problem is like
Yeah.
you got to add shipping on top of it. So I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
pass. And then plus Comic-Con's next week, so I'm, trying to pass.
Mhm.
All right. These guys are going to be up
Whoa.
at
Yep.
Walmart.
I'll
Anybody?
be getting these.
All right. They look good. I mean,
They do look good.
More Mandos.
I like the dude's. Is that his holster right there
Yeah.
on the? Right?
Yeah.
It looks cool the way it's canted and everything.
Yep.
Makes him
Yeah.
look like
It's,
really.
it's unique.
Yeah, I like it.
And has she got like is that a cloth skirt or is it
It
just
looks like it.
plastic and it looks weird?
It looks like soft plastic.
That's
Yeah,
an
it does.
apron,
Oh, soft
John,
plastic, you think? Yeah.
for cooking.
Although
Apron-
for something
apron-
like that, soft goods would be better to not hinder articulation. But
Yeah.
I bet it's soft plastic.
soft plastic,
Right.
yeah.
So,
It looks good though. I like the design of the girl figure.
Oh, it's
Cedar-
colors.
Cedar Stuff said that is bigger than Earthrise Prime, and Jonathan saying it's about 8-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that sounds about right.
I'm gonna
And
turn
then,
into a pumpkin, guys. I gotta go. I gotta
Okay,
get
Dan,
my,
thanks for hanging
get
out.
my girl from work.
So
Have a
yeah,
good weekend, Dan.
Yeah,
ya.
thank you too.
All right, and
You
then
gonna pop yourself, Vern?
No.
Oh, this is pop yourself.
is this at
Yeah.
Comic-Con?
Yes.
Oh, well, see, they should have been in the Comic-Con section. I won't be going to the Funko booth because I did not get in.
Well, you don't have to. You go
Well, I think you
Wednesday.
can just walk up to the Funko booth.
Yeah, this is Wednesday. It's before the even thing of it starts.
On Funko. Oh, you just go to Funko.com.
I think so.
Oh, so it's not even, you don't even have to walk anywhere.
But I think it's at the con too. Like
I don't think
where
so.
Hasbro debuted the selfie series.
I don't know. I'm not a big Funko Pop.
Just a vending machine with different hearts in it, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. So this is the G.I. Joe Night Force set that they announced, and Connor pointed out that Quarrel there is a UK Action Force figure. I think they look
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah, yeah. The packaging looks good too.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that's
why I
cool
put
set.
multiple pictures of this set.
And these were leaked photos, right? This has not even been announced by Hasbro yet.
No, these ones I think I got off the Walmart.com because it's part of their
Oh, okay. So
convention
that's how it
con.
was revealed.
You can go check it out now. Yeah. So yeah, I think it looks great.
Yeah.
I really think they did a good job with whatever they did with Falcon there in his face. They made some improvements, I think. Because he doesn't look as bad as the other release. And they come with a boatload of stuff. All the stuff is reused, right? Like
Yeah.
we've already have it. But
Is that the same girl's head that came with the? I'm thinking it's the head that came with the dragonfly.
Glendale.
Could be
I like
except
this
for-
color scheme. What's this called? Night Force. This color
Yeah,
scheme.
Night Force.
Yeah,
I like
these are the Night Force guys.
I don't
Green,
like
black, and red.
I don't like Falcon's like vest and shoulder pads, kind
Yeah,
of.
it definitely has
It's
shoulder
a
pads.
bit big.
But he
Yeah.
definitely, to me, has like a Mad Max feel to it in a way. So maybe putting that gear on Big Boa would look kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming you can take the best off.
And
Oh
then
wow, what the crap?
these
This
are
I think is brilliant packaging and toy design for
Yeah.
convention exclusive by Jazzwares.
Jazzwares convention exclusive. So this might be cool to go buy and see.
Are these little?
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah, this is the.
Ah.
If you show the other photo, this is based on the video game with the big joystick. You know, the arcade cabinet where
Yeah.
it's
I didn't-
Vector X-wing, different defenders, so
Oh,
that's why it's
God.
painted like this.
Yeah, I didn't
Yep.
put the other picture, but anyways.
Okay, the
I
other picture is
remember
pretty
playing that.
important to get the point across.
Right.
But yeah, I think it lights up too.
Interesting.
Like the box, not the individual
Right.
If
toy.
it was 3 3/4, I'd be going out and buying that TIE fighter right away.
And yeah,
Good
this,
idea. That's a good repaint.
this is Super Sevens Voltron.
Yep.
This is cool for 4-inch figure. Like that looks fun. I don't even like Voltron, but I would collect that if I saw it in a store for less than $20 or something.
All right, I'm trying to do chats now too. Okay, and then some
Ooh.
sort of a glow in the eyes with light up eyes, Lion-O from the
Yeah.
Thundercats. That's a cool idea.
He's got all 3 swords. He's got it when it's small and can go inside. I bet it can fit inside the claw, just
Yep.
like the it did.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got the sight beyond sight sword, which is the one with the eye in the middle. When he would hold it up to his face and go, "Sword of Omens, give me sight beyond sight," and then it's fully extended after he went thunder, 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 and it kept going bigger and bigger. That's what the
Yep.
biggest.
Those
one
would
is.
have been great Jeopardy questions, John.
They would have been
Yeah.
way better than Puff
Next
the
one.
Magic Dragon.
Jeez.
You got
Fine,
this
I won't ever do another Jeopardy. Oh, jeez.
that's a figure art across the Spider-Verse figure.
Don't even know what this is, but
I don't
I
Okay.
think this looks great, but when did this character
Yeah,
get introduced? Like
exactly.
yesterday on Twitter?
yeah,
No, it was in the movie.
the
It was
last
second
movie
movie.
was it? Yeah.
Second movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't it voiced by the guy who does Dopinder and Deadpool? I want to say.
Is that what
Oh,
it is?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It looks
I wanna
cool.
s-
I just never knew this spider person existed. There's a
Spider-Man.
new
and-
Funko
yeah.
Pop as well that popped up on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah, it looks cool. I like it. SH figure art's a little overpriced, and of course, Ramen released finally those the Hunter, the
Yeah.
Amphispiena, the bridge layer attachment. So what it is like the tank, the 2 tanks at the top are 140.
Yep.
The $89 is just the bridge layer piece.
Yes.
That if you buy the Hunter, you would take off the turret and then put the bridge layer piece on.
It's the parts in green. The parts
Yeah.
in gray you do not get.
Yeah, and then
I think you did it correctly. This is a
There
good
you
way to do it.
yeah.
I watched
In-
this
in-
yesterday. It was good.
Yeah, and the first time I saw this little thing pop up about these, I was like, "Whoa! Did he split them out and he's gonna only sell the Wolverine for $60? I'm buying that." And I went to
Yeah.
the website, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's the add-on for the Wolverine."
But for
And
$200
it's
like-
bucks,
the tank not included.
but for $200, John. I mean,
I
right?
know.
140 and 60. That's way better than the HasLab.
That would have been. That's basically what the original was. He was gonna do 190 originally for just the
Yeah.
tank, so you're almost getting it for free.
Well, that's the part that if you pre-ordered that the desert one, that was
Yeah.
180.
And he was doing, the funny thing is he was doing the Hunter and the Amphibiacina or whatever at the show for 180 also.
Oh,
Like if you
okay.
were there, he would have let you. So I'm like, it's funny that now the debut price is $40 less than if you had actually got one at the show.
Well,
I
the
wonder
one
what
at
he
the
would do about
show
that.
was the brown one.
No,
Desert
but
Brown
while
one?
we were there talking about it, someone said, "What if I want the green one?" He was like, "Well, I'll do that for 180 while you're at the show."
Oh, okay.
Because this is like a show price while you're here. So
But so that
Right.
brown one he's making will be the most limited one of all of these.
correct, yeah,
Yeah.
He's no
that
longer
was,
taking
But this-
orders for that one.
No,
Not taking
no.
orders for it. Yeah.
yeah.
He might make a few hundred extra or whatever for
Yeah.
something down the road, but I mean,
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
wanted
I
that
was
desert
watching the
look,
show for him to bring out the bread car, and he brought out a white prototype bread car.
right?
No, Sonny, they're amazing. They are
Yeah.
proper 6-inch scale size. No,
The-
I saw
the
them
thing
in
is,
person.
He's trying to say that they're too small to be like a tank, and that might be right. But the problem is, it's like it still fits your 112 scale figures without being overwhelmingly too big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the box has
yeah.
to fit in their doorway, right?
Yeah,
I get
and-
what he's saying now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But I still think like the idea of being able to have the tank and put 112 scale vehicles in there is just pretty cool.
You could fit 2 figures in underneath the tank turret.
Yeah,
And then there's places for other figures to go on there as well. So it's
Right.
like that's what I was impressed with, is that he essentially made a cockpit that fits 2 figures very well and has drivable, like,
right.
in a dashboard, like it looks cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
I haven't seen them in person, just as
and the
and,
thing-
and photos.
And then if you remember the clip that John had where he talks about how he was making it affordable was he made like that one base piece that is universal to be able to make the different tanks or whatever, and that's what keeps the price a little bit down. And then
hot lights or holograms or electronics keeps the price down for sure too, right?
Yeah.
But
then
treads, that's awesome.
Then what was that thing? Because I wasn't something I got dragged away, but was he talking about with Riot Press for something? Is he doing something with them?
Yeah, a line of 6-inch kind of, I don't know, silver hockey looking figures. It's his own. It's Riot Press's own IP that him and he came up with. So it'll be the first not a first unlicensed, but their first self-licensed product. I know they showed those off at the Joe Fest too, because I heard them saying they did.
And then he revealed the Gachman or the Battle of the Planets. It's going to be in that Makina scale, so the figure will be about 3 inches. The ship will be maybe 12 inches or whatever.
Well, they each have their own little kind of ship, don't they? So that's the plan, I think, is to do all the figures with their little ship in that mask kind of scale, which is very cool. What 1/24th scale we'll call it. I think that's great. So I hope that opens up in the future without making them all transforming mask vehicles, because his goal right now is with Hasbro to get the actual mask license in it.
Right.
There's a chance that could happen, but wouldn't it be cool if you had a little 1/24th scale, like, bread car and all the cool vehicles but also in that little mask kind of scale? I think that'd be fun, man. Fit 8 or 10 of those cool vehicles on our shelves.
Yeah. He did show off a white version of that bread van, and it had spoilers and everything on it. It was all decked out. Okay, now we're getting.
He basically had a shell
logo on it either, so
he basically had a shell at the booth, and I think it's in one of the videos or a picture I put in the video.
Yeah,
I did.
At Joe Fest, he brought a black, injection molded shell, and this time he's got a white injection molded shell, and he didn't show it, but he does have a fully painted injection molded model, and the bread car will go up available in August. $100 for the base model, and he didn't really confirm the price for the deluxe, red stripe model, but I'm guessing another $50.
Yeah,
it looks like his shipping fee now is a $50 base shipping fee on these vehicles to America, but different for other countries. Make sure your country is eligible. If not, you might have to get a shipping buddy in America or in China, if you know people in China, to get your 1/12 scale vehicles from Ramen Toys, because some of these things he was saying on the stream yesterday, it costs more than $300 to ship to certain countries. And why would anyone pay that when it's $150 vehicle? He just doesn't want to offer that kind of shipping cost.
The easy thing here is like if because he had another video where he talked about the shipping. I don't want to get into it. That's his thing. They're putting all this stuff on a boat. It's coming over. It's easy if it's going to one location, right? Like if it's in North America, it can branch out from there. But when you're then like doing shipping to other countries, are you doing a boat to those countries, or you're doing air, right? He's saying basically like with the Ramen Racer, they all came on a boat. They all came here. It's just a matter of like, if this one gets stuck, being checked longer or whatever, that's the difference. And, like UPS or FedEx is already printed out, sitting on the label, waiting for this thing to get to their little place where they're then just going to slap their label on. So people have like a tracking of this label that's waiting for the box to show up so they can slap it on. They didn't wait for the box and then print the label. They have a stack. They're ready to go. They're already generated, right? So you could do that, or you could do like air mail. And if you want it mailed to you, it's 3 times the cost. You know what I mean? I understand that.
And he said if your country's not on the list when you're trying to purchase or pre-order something, it's because the shipping cost is lots of money. But if you contact him, like, he'll try and work a deal with you.
Right. And he's pretty good about like communicating and stuff like that. I mean, I think he's been pretty open and stuff. But
he has been open, I think, from what I've seen.
All right. So I think we went over our time. we're gonna get a letter from the manager telling us that we. But we want to thank everybody for joining us again for the Toy Duo team here on Saturday at noon. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm not going to be available next week because I'm going to be at Comic-Con. I'm going to try to like maybe stream stuff. If you guys are doing anything you want me to pop in while I'm there, I can definitely do it. If you're going to Comic-Con, look for me because I'm going to try to carry stuff around my backpack for people that call me out of a crowd. If you can find me, I'm going to be wearing
Get some Hey Burn swag.
It's
Burn
possible.
Lab
No one's gonna recognize you with glasses.
Yeah, it's possible. But anyways, that's the plan. And we'll see you guys next time on the Toy Duo team.
Bye-bye. Stay awesome,
Collect them
everybody.
all.
Cheers.
Toys, 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 toys,
manly
toys, 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 toys.